And ladies and boys and girls, welcome back yet again to the Upsurge Premier League for the Friday show. I am, as always, your host for the evening, Ravish, the most ravishing man on the internet. Joined here by my side by a couple of brand new but yet very handsome faces. They're so blind. So handsome, they're possibly blinding me. Gentlemen, I don't know if I can hit spotlight away from you, but I'm going to try as I most humbly can to introduce you to the best of my ability. By my side, right beside me here, is top tier mid laner, support, collegiate player, and the tallest man in all of CLOL, Mr. Hollywood.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on the desk today. It's really great to be here. And I've known Ravish and I've known Mazel for quite a bit. And this is the first time I think we've ever collaborated on something like this. So thanks for putting on with me today.
Of course, but you already said it, so let me do this too, bro. I have the honor, pleasure, and distinct pride to be able to welcome onto my desk LPL caster, all-around handsome gentleman, and a man of great taste and culture, Miss Lennon White as well. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, it's good to be here. I'm really excited. First time working with you, Hollywood, as you were kind of saying. Just very excited. And Ravish, good to be back. Good to be here. And really excited for the games tonight.
Of course, as am I, mon ami. So let's talk about those games that we have tonight, though, like you already mentioned. Going up first here today, and our main matches tonight, of course, being Wild Card going up against Rock Tribe Esports. Now, these are teams that we are not necessarily unfamiliar with, but one we do have to say, our one definitely has been a bit more dominant than the other. Because we look on the side of Wildcard, though, they're 4-0 currently in the standings. They have dominated their region, and they just seem to be a cut above the rest. On the other end, Rock Tribe Esports, they're 2-2 currently, so the middle of the pack, tied alongside Striking Vipers Maestros. So if they are to kind of, try to get a little bit of advantage, consider we're week number 5, and as we move on to week number 7, right? Playoffs starting soon. But they want to get to that top 2 spot. They're going to have to show that they deserve it and they must earn it if they can possibly get a game off of Wildcard Developmental. But I will divulge to you all in any of your experiences to what for these players and these teams. Hollywood, starting off with you, man. Talk to me a bit about what you know about Wildcard.
Yeah, Wildcard. Obviously, my mid laner Bradley, he's on the, I think Wildcard Black or Red, one of the two.
Yeah.
But he's on one of their teams. Red, yeah. But yeah, I've known him for quite a bit actually. He played at Columbia College, my old school, and I actually know Cleve. I had the pleasure of playing against Cleve at the Maryville LAN. Their coach is Cubby, and it's going to be really interesting to see if Rock Tribe can actually take a game off these guys. It's easy to see the experience that these guys have, these collegiate names and the structure that Cubby has built, because he's been on MU, or he's the coach of MU, OH rather. So I'm really interested to see Cleve, and especially his support gameplay. As a support main, of course, I do want to see him step up and kind of hold his own. So.
And on the other end of Mazel, we were talking a bit about the top lane too, and our main man Izo as well, who's by the way, he's been kind of generalizing this whole Tahm Kench's top pick and going absolutely rampant with it. Now, from my experience, I've told anyone who plays Tahm Kench's top is scum, but I disagree. I think Izo's a nice guy.
Man,
what are you thinking, bro?
That's how you gotta play it. In the LPL, we see it all the time. The dominant Tahm Kench. When you watch LCS, it's more that supportive play, but I want to see the knuckle drag out of a Tahm Kench here from Izo, but especially I know we're going to highlight a little bit more of it and dive into that a little bit more, but Wildcard Developmental and Wildcard as a whole, as a program, has been so insane through the amateur scene. We get to see their main 2 teams, but this is the pipeline. This is where you see that crucial development happen. I think that's so important. And for the Rock Tribe, be able to take down the top team in the Cloud division, where it's kind of looking a little bit like my shirt, looking a little bit red from the wild card team colors. But I think it could be a really good statement here for Rock Tribe.
And that keyword right there, you just mentioned it, Mazel. That statement, right, that they have to make here today, because there are only a couple more weeks left in the season. If they are to be able to show up and show out, then who better to do it against than the top team in the region? Because considering they faced up before, and it didn't exactly go in Rock Tribe's favor, although it was the beginning of the league, right? It was week 2, everybody was just like getting on their slippers and getting out of bed. But right now, I believe we're all well and awake. The teeth has been brushed, breakfast is ready, and waiting to be served. The eggs are hot. So with that, gentlemen, let me go ahead and pick your brain one more time to who you all think will be coming out on top tonight. Mizzell, keeping with you, where's your heads at?
Man, I'm hoping for a long series. I'm hoping for the full 3 games, but I still got to say it's going to be wild card all day. 2-1.
All right, respects to the 2-1-2 and a 2-1 as well. I should say the Cowards prediction. I mean, understandable. You're a nice guy, so I will let you off. But Hollywood, bro, I know you were brave, man. You know that tall chest out there, banging with the truth, broski. What do you got tonight?
My guts tell me wildcard 2-0. But as an underdog myself, I would like to see Rock Tribe actually take a game or maybe win the whole set. But my heart's saying, my heart says Rock Tribe, but my brain says wildcard.
Okay, but which one can I cement you down for? Don't be playing around with me, you know. Don't be like, maybe a little bit of that. Nah. Say it with your chest. Who's winning?
I gotta go with the brain. It's wildcard 2-0. Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear, bro. See, and I cement that down right into the concrete and leave it in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, because that's where exactly it'll stay. Now, I, like you all, also am a fan of statistics-based analysis and know exactly where things can go. So I too have Wildcard Developmental taking this 2-0. Because if we're being very honest, bro, the team, although they may try to go back and forth a bit, they may try to get a little bit goofy, but their macros plays and the way they are able to close out the game have just been something we have not necessarily seen in the league. So if they bring that tonight as well, it should be pretty obvious, but that's not necessarily up to really find out. We have to let our casters for tonight, RMC and Necrox, I should say, take us into the game and show us through their lens what's going to happen. Y'all, let's get it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to the Unified Premier League. I am Necrox, joined by RMC over in that direction. I got it right in the first attempt. It's going to be a great night.
For sure. I'm glad to be here, Necrox. It's our first time for both of us actually here in the UPL, but we're no strangers to these teams. I know the AD kind of ran over them here, but I want to talk a little bit more about some of these players. And you know what, Necrox, why don't you start with Rock Tribe? Because I believe you've cast them for an entire split before.
Yeah, I have seen these guys through and through, everyone but the jungle. And RMC, we've seen them in Excellency Heavy League before. These guys climbed together as a group, as a 5-man unit. And I'm hoping that they're going to bring out some of that special teamwork magic tonight. Obviously, we're talking about how just the individual prowess and skill level of Wildcard is really daunting. But I'm looking and hoping these guys can band together and make plays as a team. Because when they do, and I have seen it in my own eyes, these guys are wild on the Rift.
Yeah, when they first popped up back in November there, these guys were, I think, T2, D3 average, and now they're Grandmasters average across the team as well. So they've really played together steadily, these same 5 players. And then we look across to Wildcard Gaming Developmental. If you are a fan of the amateur scene, Wildcard Gaming is a name that everybody knows right now. The Wildcard Red team is dominating the Proving Grounds. Wildcard Black just on their heels, also on the Proving Grounds. And well, this is the team where they draw their talent from. This is Wildcard Gaming Developmental here. They might not have the same 5 players. In fact, they've had a lot of roster changes coming throughout, but the raw talent here, undeniable. And with the help of their coach, D. Eisen here, they've been individually working on their skills. Their mechanics are amazing. And it shows. They've crushed all the competition here. Striking Vipers, Maestro. We have now Rock Tribe, who did lose to them in week 2 as well. Dare White, who I understand were FFs. But in each of those situations, it's a lot about the laning here from Wildcard Developmental.
And I want to take a moment here, RMC, before we get into the picks and bans of the draft, just to shout out Starling. The guy is an absolute maniac in the draft, and I'm hoping he does something special for us here. They're going to need it. Honestly, it's a 2-2 middle-of-the-pack team, deadlocked 5-5 versus Wildcard Developmental. This entire organization is basically undefeated. We'll see as picks and bans start to come through. Zoe, Ezreal, and Lee Sin all going to be taken away, along with Jin Zhao Diana. Jungle focus here, along with the catfish that our desk wanted to see, or at least some some of them.
Yeah, at least some of them. I don't know if Mizel's that well, or Rav really is the one who's completely sold on this Tahm Kench, but yeah, it is taken away from Izo. Izo's been on Twitter. He's very vocal about it, how strong it is. And the Zoe ban is the other one that perhaps is not super meta right now, and that is targeted at Pause2 here, who has been excellent on that champion. Just amazing. The last time they played in week 2, Wildcard Developmental banned it both games as well. Now, with Xin and Diana taken off the table, that is 2 out of the top 3 junglers taken away. It's hardly a surprise that we see Viego picked up. And since Lee Sin is also banned here, Rock Tribe don't have a lot of meta options to counter now.
Yeah, there's not too many things left on the table. I'm curious actually what they're going to grab here just to respond. Maybe something like Tavares is available, or an even stronger one-shot machine in the Graves. This technology has been through the roof. You grab the penetration, everything you need to one-shot tanks and squishies all in 2 blows.
Yeah, that Eclipse build is something I've been seeing a lot of my solo queues. But more to be fair, in the mid and top lane than in the jungle. Still works though. Galeforce the other option. And these picks are actually kind of interesting as well from Rock Tribe, because they're not just sort of strong picks on their own. They're picks which are being denied away from Wildcard Developmental. Avano plays that Graves in the mid lane. I believe Rapid in the jungle, currently going on the name Zazel's Lover, also does play the Graves in the jungle. And the Ashe, that is something that Crazy Goose has been playing pretty much every time it is available, 3 times out of the, I believe, 6 games or 4 games that they've played right now. So that's denial. That's not something that Vark plays a ton of naturally.
Yeah, it's certainly a takeaway pick, absolutely. And if you want to get onto an Ashe, which doesn't do that much damage, you just go all in. Tristana is an excellent option to do that. You rocket jump forward, you Malphite ult your enemy, and it works out sometimes. Or you make the ESPN not top 10. We'll see which one is coming in here for Crazy Goose. Could be going mid lane. I would doubt it. I would assume the Viego is probably going mid. That would be not where Riot wants a champion to go, but Wildcard Developmental, that is certainly their comfort. Galio as well over the top. Lots of engage, lots of potential to really force the issue here for WCD.
Okay, and this Galio can also be flexed mid or support here. I'm personally more likely to put it in the support position. I have seen Cleve play it before, back when he was on Miami University's team here, and I'm hoping for a little more from Avano. Avano has had an eclectic champion pool. 2 games of Aurelion Sol, 1 game of Malzahar, 1 game of Jace here. So very unusual picks. I'm personally a huge Aurelion Sol fan, hoping to see it picked up once again here. But Rock Tribe, they're going with a nice, steady support. They need that Alistar. They needed something to frontline, because we talked about the fact that Ashe, very immobile here. Alistar will be able to peel for her in lane. And more importantly, later in the team fights as well, being able to stop Tristana, stop Viego, all these guys from jumping in and just executing that Ashe.
Yeah, Headbutt even better than the Pulverize here for Trivia Boy. Certainly one of his favorite champions. Into our second phase of bans, Sylas and Syndra, a new yet old pick here in the amateur scene. She has been coming back with the buffs recently adjacent to this champion. Yeah, you might as well just try it out. Pretty easy. Good early game pressure as well with nice CC. As soon as you hit level 6, kill threat goes through the roof, and with Sylas off the board as well, mid lane pools are being pinched.
Also, I feel like that's just a solid takeaway right now. On this particular patch, you know, there were the mana cost buffs to the Dark Sphere there. So she's a lot stronger in lane and is able to counter a lot of what Avano likes to pick there. The Aurelion Sol isn't too hot into Syndra. Malzahar's kind of iffy as well. You can always grab those minions, chuck them away. And the last time we saw Pause2 play Victor and Lucian. I suspect that Wildcard Developmental would like to push Pause2 back in that direction once again here. We do see Sylas being banned out, and I'm being told that Gwen is not actually Gwen. That is a Lucian ban coming through, and it's interesting for Rock Tribe because they're the one who usually plays that Lucian.
Yeah, and they could have had it on R4 as well if they wanted it. You get the double AD carry composition, one of them being Ashe as well, so it's not even true double ADC. It's more like a supportive champion in the bot lane along with sort of a carry marksman in mid, but regardless, they don't want it. They want it out of here, and so that one will be taken away set as well. Now the big question comes through. How do you round out your draft? Do you go for the full engage with the Ashe Arrow and the Alistar, or do you just pick up a big old meatball, slap a cleaver in his hand, and call it Mundo?
Okay, Mundo feels like a Clonk Gronk Zonk champion. When I spoke to Coach Starling described Clonk as a drug-fueled abomination who only plays during demon hours. I thought he was talking about Dr. Mundo. Apparently, it's both. So I love that pickup here. But Izo is a master of the top lane. He plays either strong side or medium side. There is no such thing as weak side for ISO here. And if you did see that Twitter post where he was talking about the Tahm Kench, the most played champion at the top there wasn't Tahm Kench. It was Volibear. So the pickup there really makes sense here. Now, the last pick is potentially for the mid lane or the support. I am hoping we see something interesting in the mid lane here, but Ivano has to be careful because we don't know what Postu has picked up yet or will be picking up, and Postu will be able to get a counter pick here. They deny away the Victor, which is Postu's fallback when that Zoe's banned.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a safe pick as well for Ivano. So because he doesn't know where the enemy is quite going yet with this Graves, it could be something jungle or it could be a solo lane. They want to make sure you have an easy time hitting those minions, even getting some poke in an advantageous matchup. So we'll draft that one for Ivano in mid. Now, what does Rock Tribe Esports want to finish their draft off with? This will tell us a lot about how they're going to play out this game, whether it will be a farming jungler like Graves or a new jungler, something like that. But no, I think we're going to get the Seraphine in the mid lane for Postu. That means Graves will be going jungle and Mundo will be headed to the top lane.
Yeah, Postu, all his mid lane champions he's played in UPL so far have been banned away. And Postu does like to play more aggressive playmaking champions like the Yone, like the Akali, for example. But Seraphine just fits this composition so much better. And Enchanter supports have always done best, not really with squishies, but more with these tanky, beefy meatballs like the Mundo, like the Alistar. They're giving them so much more sustain. They get to continue surviving in these fights here. So I really like the pickup. It gives them some really solid engage as well to follow up on that Enchanted Crystal Arrow. And you can already see that Rock Tribe, they just want to play it front to back. Honestly, not really the style I associate with Rock Tribe. I tend to think of them as more of a chaotic force, but it's a good start here in this best of 3.
Yeah, certainly a good start to things, making sure they take it nice and slow early on. Just want to feel the waters about Wildcard Developmental. You don't really know where they're headed in such a series. And honestly, their draft isn't the easiest thing to read either here, RMC. They've got a lot of tools for themselves. You have Galio for the disengage, but you also have something like the Galio for the engage on top of the Volibear. So and there's a lot of opportunities for these teams to really show us what they're made of tonight. And especially for Rock Tribe, I'm hoping they can step up to the challenge that is taking on a wildcard team.
Yeah, and if anything, I actually think the onus now is a little bit more on Wildcard Developmental than it is on Rock Tribe. Because when you drop a orthodox front to back composition, it's very obvious what you want to do, right? You're just watching out for that Enchanted Crystal Arrow, watching out for the Encore, but it's on Wildcard to dodge that out. Their means of engage are a little bit more varied. We've seen Viegos, try and come in for flanks or even try and brute force from the front, using that mist to try and dodge out, and then you've got the Gallo to follow up, or Aizo can just go charging in on that Volibear here. And Volibear has been out of meta for a while, but he's never really been weak. The biggest complaint that pros have had about Volibear is mostly that he's strong early game and then he kind of falls off. He's just a bit of a meatball. He doesn't have a lot of damage and his engage is very linear unless you use that Stormbringer. But that might be all you need, especially in a comp that wants to run into you. And all you need is that tankiness to engage. So they've got good team fight as well. It just takes a little bit more skill on the side of Wildcard, but they also have the tools to dodge out. They've got a lot of mobility here. And as long as you make sure that the ones tanking up the engage are the Galio, are the Volibear here, when they re-engage with this Victor, it's going to be rather rough for Rock Tribe, especially for the squishies to stay in the fight.
I'm glad you're the color caster, man, because when I hear about Volibear in the late game, I just think Udyr 2.0. He just runs it real quick, flashes, slaps down, and gets some CC, and then maybe some damage over the top. That's where my brain goes, but we got a Volibear. We'll see what they can do with it. RMC, and we'll join you in just 1 second when we get onto the Rift for the UPL. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after just a short intermission. Welcome everyone to Summoner's Rift here in the UPL. It is time for Game 1 between Wildcard Developmental and Rock Tribe Esports. Flying out of our starting gates, and it looks like we're getting some sort of a 5-man formation here for RTE.
I love it. When you have an Alistair here, you've got one of the strongest level 1s. The only question is, can they get in there?
Oh.
A slow
Okay,
applies.
Cleve gonna be slowed up. They don't have too much to do with though. There's a stun, beautifully done. Gonna force the flash out of Cleve, but Ignite was burned.
I'd take that trade any day of the week here. Necrox Ignite for Flash is going to be great, especially in this bot lane. And for Wildcard Developmental, it's worth noting, this is Cleve's first week in the UPL with Wildcard Developmental. So there were some questions about, is the synergy going to be there? Crazy Goose and Cleve have been practicing together. But that level 1, that's not exactly encouraging for this Wildcard Developmental squad.
Yeah, not what you want to see. Your Galio losing the flash. All that engage threat I was talking about, RMC, yeah, it's going to be waiting here on a 5-minute cooldown. So hopefully they don't take anything too out of pocket here for Wildcard Developmental as the new support does lose his flash. But regardless, junglers, that's where my eyes always are at the start of these games. Ray going to be starting on his top side. Interestingly enough, Rapid headed in the other direction.
Yeah, and I think it makes a lot of sense here for Ray on this Graves to start topside. Your gank potential into a Volibear with a Mundo is less than stellar, shall we say. Meatballs are hard to take down for the Graves early, whereas when you look at the mid, when you look at the bot lane here, there is kill potential, especially when you burn Cleve's flash that early on in the game here. If they're pushed up, which is likely to happen with the Tristana here, the Galio really doesn't have too many escapes.
Yeah, not too many options to really walk out, especially without flash, considering that one's down. So we'll see if they can get anything off at level 2s in the bot lane. Should be coming in just a second. Mid lane matchup. We didn't get too much time to talk about this one, considering it was an R5 Seraphine. Man, is this a sleeper matchup for me. I really wanted to see Pause 2 Navano go at it with some aggressive champions. It was a blind pick Victor into an R5 Seraphine. Wave clear from 1,000 units away, RMC. It is something to behold.
You know what, Necrox, you might get your wish yet at level 6, because both these mid laners are fairly aggressive. They don't generally like to sit back and farm here. They like to make things happen. And sure, against each other, it's a little bit difficult. There is going to be a lot of dodging happening here. The range makes things tough. But at 6, there is burst damage for both of them. And if you look at these junglers, Viego and Graves both can get a lot of burst damage down as well. This mid lane probably actually, to me, is one of the easiest lanes to gank post 6.
Yeah, certainly without a lot of mobility. Man, just the 1v1s. I always want to see some mid laners going for the solo kills, but regardless, jungle attention isn't something I would cry about. Here in as Rapid already here on this top crab, making this one go down the moment it spawns. On the other end, it is Ray taking his time clearing out extra camps. Gonna do this bottom crab, and with his priority he has earned in bot lane. There's the engage. Priority be damned. You have to be careful about that Ash damage. Halo Blades gets the Q in immediately. Here comes the damage. Ignite's ticking down into Trivia. He's going low. Will survive. Ray lurking in the wings. Hawkshot there to make sure there's no counter gank, but bot lane 2v2 already intense.
I love that Hawkshot. Not only does it make sure there's no counter gank, it makes it look as if your jungler's not just waiting in the wings, but really good ward coming off Crazy Goose. The spider senses were tingling. They knew something was wrong there. I'm not sure what tipped it off, because again, Hawkshot there suggests that your jungler might not necessarily be in that area, giving you vision there. And now we do see Rapid coming in. Both junglers waiting the bot wings.
Rapid and Ray both here on bot side, but it is Rapid that is much closer to this issue. Observers, thank you for the toggle on vision. Vark's in trouble. The taunt's gonna connect, but they're gonna try to turn it around. They got first blood with a headbutt pulverize ignite combo. But now the attention's being turned onto Vark with reset number 1 already through. Here comes the rest of the team with the teleports in from Pause 2. Can they find Zazel's lover? It's Rapid going low, and it's Rapid going down. He cannot return any damage. And it's Pause 2 picking up the kill.
They took so long trying to finish off Zazel's lover there, Rapid there, and I think a lot of it was trying to give it to Vark. It's not safe. Vark was actually close to going down, but this here, Necrox, is exactly what Rock Tribe needed. You heard the analyst desk. Nobody's thinking too highly of their odds here, but really, they do have a lot of surprises left in the tank, and I know that Coach Heisen there was saying that he's hoping that they bring something spicy, because if you play it just standard in your lanes, Wildcard Developmental, their players, they've been working on their mechanics.
Yeah, certainly working on the mechanics, working on ability, just straight up outplay, and Dan the man making things happen here early on. At least trying to there with Rapid making things in the bottom lane. Regardless, though, just about not too much of an issue here for either of these teams. Rock Tribe Esports getting a couple kills, and Envision going to be cleared away as well. I'm interested in your opinion, RMC. They get a kill, but they expend mid lane teleport. That's going to be a huge advantage if we go for more plays. Avano going to be able to arrive when Pause2 is going to have to stay in his lane.
I'm a little less worried about the teleport's effect in these plays here. I think that bot lane teleport was absolutely massive for them. It does give them a bit more control, and it helps to slow down Rapid a little bit more. Not to mention that it's really more about the lane control that teleport. As mid laners, you can roam up to whichever lane needs help fairly quickly here, so should be fine. Rapid's coming in. There is a ward this time though, and they might look for the counter gank with Ray.
Yeah, they may look for it. There's a flash in. It's off cooldown. Finally, double, man. Taunt and Bark's coming low. Bark is taken out by the Crazy Goose with kill number 1. It is a reset already in for Rapid. Hopping forward once again, but the teleports from both top laners have now arrived. It is Azo coming in and the end of things, but the Crazy Man cannot do it as Clonk has to run away. Wildcard Developmental find their fight in the bottom lane.
I mean, did they? It was a party down there, and ultimately they trade 1-for-1. The bigger question is, can they pick up the dragon? After that has happened here, the Ocean Drake will be a nice pickup, but they're kind of low. It's not the safest, and Encore is still available for Pause2. Was not used in that fight, where the Chaos Storm for Avano was.
Yeah, you're right, Armstein. That's the difference maker. I thought even though they trade 1-for-1, they'd be able to pick up the dragon afterward, but because of that threat, they cannot actually get that Drake on the board. So huge stuff there for Rock Tribe, making sure they can't get it, and has been leached out a little bit by Rapid. Using that miss just to escape here. Raise around. Smite fight! Goes the way of Rapid, but now he's in a little bit of trouble, taking some damage, channeling the Spectral Maw, using that one to escape. Vark not able to land the volley as well, but the chase is on. It is Need for Speed, RMC, and the heal's going to come through from Crazy Goose. Bomb's already there, but it will explode to a little bit of damage. They cannot get a kill, but it is Rock Tribe chasing Wildcard Developmental all the way out of town.
I think Wildcard was caught as off guard as I was. I mean, that aggressive chase down there just shows you the confidence. And if Ray or Vark had been level 6, that would have been an easy kill. You saw the flash had to come out from Crazy Goose just to keep Rapid alive. And for the side of Rock Tribe, they're still not going for this Ocean Drake here. They're still content to leave it up. And the thing you have to keep in mind against a Viego is that, yeah, his healing got nerfed, but that's in lane. In jungle, Viego can sustain right back up, and he can just keep going back to the dragon over and over again.
Yes, certainly, and he can just clear camp, go to Drake, pressure it, return bot lane, pressure it. Here he is again, clearing out vision, and it's a camp, it's a tent, it's a full-on campsite down here, RMC, because both junglers, both teams know how important this bot lane matchup is to win. And Rock Tribe and Wildcard Developmental, that is what they are focused on. Avano's out of mana, needs to be careful. There's an encore. Nice flash out of the way, and here comes the speed away from Pause2. Flash earned basically for free. Taxes don't count. The ult, just taxes there.
I liked the idea there from Wildcard Developmental. It's just that Avano was a little bit too low there and didn't really have a ton of mana, so it was very, very risky. Top side Necrox. We've not seen too much action happen here. It's just been two fat tanks kind of going at it. And for the side of Rock Tribe here,
I love that
they're
skin.
going to be happy with that.
Corporate Mundo, best Mundo skin in the game. Clonk Rong Zonk. Love this guy, and I appreciate him wearing the Corporate Mundo skin. Like, just chucking briefcases, telephones. You know, he's just having a good time here in top lane, even though it might not be a fun matchup at all for both these top laners because they know they are not at any point going to be strong side. They're duking it out here, throwing cleavers back and forth. And honestly, good CS lead for the Volibear in this matchup. You'd love to see it. Not hard to bully out someone with Dr. Mundo. His dueling is okay with that Bomby Cinder, but a 18 CS lead, that's pretty significant here for Wildcard Developmental.
Yeah, and generally with that Mundo, you actually do trade fairly well into most people. Once a Divine Sunderer, though, comes through from Izo, that that matchup completely changes. And then
Yeah.
Volibear is going to be able to absolutely maul the face off of Mundo. And you're going to see Klonk needing to get out of there, needing to work with the rest of the team. Speaking of which, once again, the junglers looking at this bot side. Ray already here, and you can see missing things coming top side. They're wondering what's going on. Neither team seems to care about Herald.
Yeah, Goose smells something up here though, so does not step forward. Thinking about launching that Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but with the rocket jump available for Crazy Goose, that one is pretty hard to lock down. And so it will be a trade of objectives here for Rock Tribe Esports on Wildcard Developmental. It is RTE picking up first Drake, will be Ocean taken away, but Rift Herald should go the way of Wildcard Developmental.
Yeah, and it will be Inferno Drake, Nick. So unfortunately, no Inferno Soul or Ocean Soul. I don't know if that's lucky or unlucky here, Necrox, supposed to certainly make the fights more interesting. But personally, I'm partial to a good Cloud. The engage coming through from Trivia.
Flash engage from Chippy. The arrow lands, but not enough damage to follow through. Cleaves the one now being targeted down with those arrows.
Collateral
One
damage.
more shot, and he finds him with the collateral damage. Ray cleans up the kill.
I feel like this is what Rock Tribe's been going for over and over again, but they didn't actually have the collateral damage like the first 3 times they tried to do that. Crazy Goose has to be careful here. And Rock Tribe, they're really picking on this bot lane who are newer to the UPL. Now, can Clog survive this? Zazel's looking up there.
It is not incredibly easy to dive Amundo. Here comes a teleport as well.
Oh,
Now it's time to
Encore's
run
available?
for WCD. Heartbreaker away, but a nice
Oh.
encore. It is dodged by Rapid. Beautifully sidestepped. Don't have much left in the tank, these two, but they fend off the dive. They spend the teleport to keep Clonk alive.
Yeah, I mean, Pause 2 right now is doing a ton of work, getting a lot of pressure all over the map, but you have to be careful. There is the cost to these roams, and it's Ivano getting free farm here.
Okay, Gravity Bell not going to find it. Very fast is Pause 2 on this Seraphine. Not easy to land something like that Gravity Well, but wave is shoved in, plate taken for Ivano, so he'll be happy. He gets all this free gold, and on a Victor who scales so incredibly well, he'll be doing mad damage come this late game.
The problem for Ivano in lane right now is that if you want to kill the Seraphine, you have a very, very small window of opportunity to do it. You can already see that between the 2 speed up, Seraphine is probably going to be able to get away. So if you don't get some sort of slow or some sort of CC down on that Seraphine early, or just flat out burst her down, it's very difficult for the Victor to win this. And that was why I was saying, get the junglers involved into that mid lane. It will definitely help even things up. And if not for the fact that Pause 2 is roaming so heavily here, I think Ivano would be in a lot worse situation. As it stands, 10 CS for 2 kills and pressure bot and saving your top lane, that's worth it for Rock Tribe, and they'll take that trade every time.
Yeah, 13 minutes in with just about 130 farm. Really good stuff here for Ivano. Rapid in the jungle is falling behind on this Viego. Does have a kill to his name, but Ray is farming up a storm on this Graves. Again, with the build that we talked about on the draft. There's a lot of penetration. So even champions like the Galio, like the Volibear, who are supposed to be very high HP, a little bit of resistances here and there, it is way easier to cut through them than you would imagine with the LDR. Here comes Rift Herald into the bot lane. It should be Rapid popping this one down, maybe looking for a dive, but instead they call Ray down to make sure there are no shenanigans. It'll just be easy cash here for the wildcard bot lane.
Yeah, Rock Tribe's been doing a great job just sort of buying time, not letting leads happen here. Oh, Rapid just being a little cheeky there. There's no real kill threat, and it's kind of risky for you to dive them on the bot side. All the CCs available, Enchanted Crystal Arrows back up, heal as well. Mid, however, is a different story, and they might actually end up catching Ray in rotation.
Yeah, they actually could
the
catch Ray
ward.
here if he's not cautious. Ward over the wall will be spotted now because he is autoing it. There they go over the wall with the blast cone. The stun lands, but the taunt does not. Here comes a re-engage with an encore into 1. Heartbreaker away, but an arrow from downtown. And Vark finds his mark. It is Rock Tribe picking up 1 and earned the flash, the enemy 80 carry in the back end.
Wildcard Developmental started that so well. They actually managed to stop the quick draw over the wall from Ray there. The problem is what happens. If you don't kill Ray immediately, suddenly you're in the middle of the enemy's base. And the same thing about that bot lane gank. You're trying to gank the bot lane on the enemy side where their reinforcements can get in faster. You're doing it at Wolves, that's even further in. And Wildcard Developmental, I mean, sure, you've got mechanics, but you still have to respect the numbers advantage. Did not pan out. And Rock Tribe, for all their kills, they've not got a huge gold lead right now. And I kind of want to see them group up a little bit, bring all those tools to a bigger fight instead of just catching one target. Try and catch multiples here.
Yeah, with that Encore even, the Alistar combo as well could get massive AoE CC. And RMC, we talked about this. We talked about the ability for Rock Tribe to play together as a team, and you just saw it right there on the Rift.
Yeah.
It is Vark looking at his team, listening to Ray saying, hey, they're here. They just put this ward down. I'm going to auto it, act like a clown, and get them to bait into me. He does exactly that. And we haven't even gotten to the 5-on-5 team fight stage yet. I love what I'm seeing from RTE, and I'm hoping they can continue it here up against an undefeated team like Wildcard.
Well, I like what they're doing right now. Dragon's just about to spawn here. They don't have the big team fight ultimates available yet, but because they're first to that objective here, they should be able to take it. POS has to be a little bit careful, shading towards the rest of the team here, and we're getting a bit of a vertical split.
Arrow lands onto the mid laner though. Headbutt pull. Goodbye. POS2 blows him up with a beautiful shot from Vark to line that one and knock him down.
They didn't have vision. They didn't have vision in that corridor either. They had vision of Ivano moving in. They punish immediately. TP into the top lane from Klonk though. But there are 3 members here.
Yikes, yikes, yikes. There's the passive away from the Mundo. Here comes the dive over the top. Klonk Gronk Zonk is getting dove, and the texture of the screen don't matter, baby. Cleave cleans it up and knocks him over.
Yeah, I had concerns that they didn't have enough damage. I mean, that's Viego, the Volbear, and Galio. Not the biggest damage spike, but hey, they made it work. And right now, that Divine Sunder from Izo is just chunking Klonk Gronk Zonk. One of the things I think people tend to forget about is Mundo's passive. Sure, you get to ignore the hard CC, the root, the stun, whatever it is, but it costs your health. And you combine that with the Divine Sunder, and all of a sudden you lose about 25% of your health right off that fight. And sure, Mundo's got a lot of health, but percentage, buddy, that percent hurts.
Would you say that Wildcard and Elemental were unified on that dive, RMC?
I'm out of here. I
had to. It was literally right in front of my eyes, RMC. It literally was right there on my monitor. It was unavoidable. I'm sorry. Apologies. Wildcard, though, they get themselves enough priority to push out this mid lane, maybe thinking about a dive, but without the Stormbringer, it is a little bit hard. Pause 2 does have his flash, but there are a lot of members waiting in the wings. This thing could get bloody very fast. Again, baiting in. Izo is here. There's the Galley multi over the top. It's a grand entrance. That doesn't find very much. Taunt's going to find 2, though. Encore the wall. Connects on a double as well, but they've left their support to die. Trivia Boy's going low. The nice headbutt over the wall, but he just only knocks him towards his teammate. Shut down. Given over to Ivano.
I want to point out, Trivia had flash the entire time there. Opted to die, choose to die there instead of trying to get over the wall. And I wonder if that's a call that Rock Tribe's making because they want to make another play shortly after this. A lot was expended there to make that happen. And while Wildcard Developmental do pick up a turret, great for them. They've even up the gold score right now. They don't have that Galio ultimate to respond to the next pick off here.
Okay, quick itemization check as well. Rock Tribe Esports, Ray is not going towards, excuse me, my dogs are very happy about this, or maybe not so much on my end, because this isn't the technology I wanted to see. It's just shield bow. It's just straight up shield bow, normal AD carry build. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, you're not looking for the insta-burst down onto the Viego. You do have a lot of damage already, and I guess with the CC that Boss 2 puts down, Ray just wants to survive. And if he's going to play the way he did earlier in that jungle, I can see why. I mean, he was in there kind of face tanking things. Second Herald being stripped down right now, and they don't really have vision on the side of Rock Tribe, so now they do. Ward just came in.
Yeah, Ward just came in. Maybe there's a contest here if they get it. It's stolen away by Ray. Rift Herald secured, but it's sitting there on the floor and no one can grab it. Now it's walk around the goose egg as Rock Tribe get it away, but they're not able to pick it up. Wildcard Elemental willing to defend. Arrow does not find anything. Now over the wall they go. Ray snagged, secured, and heist complete.
I can't believe Ray got away. I was like, oh, they took too long. He just walks in there, Smite steals that away. And for Rock Tribe, there's really nothing to be worried about. They had vision on Ivano pushing top side, and you have vision on Izo bot side here. Even if Ivano wants to TP, he's probably not going to be able to stop you from at least just picking out the Eye of the Herald and disengaging there. So now Rock Tribe, despite being down about 600 gold, are effectively even. right? Having that Herald in your pocket is going to make up for that. They haven't taken a single turret yet. They didn't get a ton of plate gold, but if you take those turrets down now, they are still worth gold. And the longer you take with that Herald, the more damage it's going to do to these turrets.
Yeah, and I want to quickly mention what's coming up here in 50 seconds as well. Yes, you have the Rift Herald to earn priority, but they also have 2 dragons to their name, but Vision is not on their side. Rock Tribe are walking into complete darkness right now. You can see even the few wards they did have put down are being swept away, and Wildcard Developmental own this river all the way up until Ray forces their hand with this Rift Herald. It's just a question of where does he use it, and does Wildcard respond in time?
Yeah, and for the side of Rock Tribe, they do want to contest this, right? You can afford to give this up, but besides the Enchanted Crystal Arrow not being available, all your other tools are ready here. You have that team fight composition we talked about, that front to back, which you want to sort of get in there, and we've not seen it used quite that way yet. They're just walking in, and you can see that Wildcard, they have to pay respects. They are backing out a little bit here. Izo looking for the flank.
Izo thinking about it. It's hard to get through something like the Alistar.
Oh, he got spotted.
Herald's gonna be popped. Here they go onto the back line. Double flash away from the carries. Nice arrow to peel even further. There's the encore. It only finds a few, but the taunt is massive from Cleve. He gets 4. Ray's gonna pick up kill number 1. The rocket jump away to get out to safety. Trivia's kill number 2. There's the volleyed find number 2 on the way for Rock Tribe Esports. Flash away from Avado as well. Cleaver hits him in the back, but there is no follow through. But a nice disengage from Rock Tribe and a re-engage from Pause 2 wins them this fight and the objective.
And you can see Necrox in the fight, how difficult it is right now for Wildcard Developmental to try and find it. Izo had the flank, but you need to go. That hawk shot negates a lot of these sneaky maneuvers here. And Trivia Boy, being the only one to go down for Rock Tribe, did so much, bought so much time there for the rest of the team, did their job. And the problem for Wildcard Developmental is once you start dropping members, once anybody gets bursted down by that Graves, it's so easy for the Ashe to follow up with these slows, with these punishes here. And now that's so point. Wildcard Developmental can no longer wait for this soul. Having that shield is only going to make things tougher here, will help out a lot for these tankier members like Klonk Zonk, like Trivia Boy.
Certainly going to make it even harder to get through. You can see how good the engage was. Double flash immediately at the start of the fight. Cleve gets a 4-man taunt with his flash. They just can't get through. They can't penetrate that front line of Trivia and Klonk. And because of it, the re-engage from Rock Tribe was just too strong. And now they're at such a good position, RMC. The gold lead may not say it, but damn if my eyes are not lying to me. They are on soul point. They have complete control over this win condition in Mountain Soul. They may not have vision. Wildcard Developmental, yes, own the river, but man, it's just going to come one more fight. And so far, Wildcard have not won a single one.
Yeah, what Wildcard Developmental has done, though, Necrox, is that they have managed to find picks. And if they can find better positioning, if they don't have to necessarily run through Trivia Boy, if they don't have to run through Klonk Zonk, they can definitely wreak havoc. Izo was just a hair away from bursting down Vark and POS. Flashes were burnt there. And yeah, you can see the gold toggle that we got there. Izo is up in gold right now. He is still strong. He can still look to side lane against Klonk here. They just need to maybe not pull the trigger quite as hastily here. If you do get spotted, walk away. Rock Tribe still have trouble engaging into you. The same problem you have engaging into them.
Yeah, they had so much priority over the river, but they were the ones that pulled the trigger, and they lost because of it. So maybe a different game plan here coming into these next few fights, RMC. But as we approach this mid to late game, headed towards that ladder stage in the later parts of this one, Wildcard Developmental still have critical breakpoints to find. You have a Rabadon's completed on Ivano. That is massive damage along with a heal cut. 2 items in for Rapid as well. Even a Spirit Visage picked up for the Volibear. But the poorest member on this team, outside of Cleve, obviously, is the AD carry. Crazy Goose has just about nothing. He's got some sort of a garage sale going on with a crit cloak here, a knife there. Just not enough damage to get through a huge front line in Klonk and Trivia.
I mean, he had to spec into the Executioner's Calling, right? Before we saw the Oblivion Orb come in, who was dealing with the healing from POS, from Pause, from Ray as well with this Graves build, right? They needed something to work with. So Crazy Goose did get set a little bit behind, but in these team fights, you can see if Crazy Goose gets to free fire, great. They do damage. The problem is that right now, you don't get that option. And I want to see Wildcard Developmental set up a bit more vision topside. We saw how good the vision they had bot side around the Dragon was initially. I want to see that with the Baron, and they had the most success when they were aggressive, when they were in the jungle of Rock Tribe looking for those picks here. They took down all the other turrets. They have easier access into the jungle. I want to see them set that up again and pull it off. Find a pick, any pick, and that helps you open up the Baron so much easier here. Rock Tribe need all their members. Every single one is integral to their front-to-back comp.
Yeah, certainly. You need every single member to do damage. And Rapid needs to get resets. More importantly, you need an ability to kill one member and then go ham to teamfight. Viego honestly isn't that good of a champion unless he's finding early kills in fights. His raw damage output, yes, it's good, but when he starts to become that 200-year style champion is when he can get and absorb the soul of another champ. We'll see, though, if they can even begin to think about it. They do have vision down once again. It is once again wildcard in this river with Rock Tribe trying to find their way in, but the Hawkshot has revealed the game plan.
Yeah, that utility.
Oh my gosh. What is that damage? Hail of Blades. Vark just rips through Goose, and he's going to have to recall. It's an 80 carry, so there's no teleport. This objective should just be Rock Tribes.
Oh, and the arrow to set up as well.
Ooh.
Great gravity field for the disengage. And that's two big ultimates down from the side of Rock Tribe here. Dragon comes up, and sure, Crazy Goose will be there. I mean, it takes 30 seconds. He'll be a little bit late. But without those ultimates, Rock Tribe don't have an engage.
Yeah, they just made me caster curse them within a half a second of me telling them they had this objective on lock. They whiff their Encore, their main engage tool, and now they have to walk into the river without enough priority to feel comfortable about this one. Mark gonna clear out some vision once again. A Cleaver connects, but now it's Wildcard and Rock Tribe stuck between a rock and a hard place. Can they get in? No. Wildcard siege this river, but Rock Tribe are not willing to give it up just quite yet. Keep your eyes on Ray on the flank, and Trivia looking for that flash engage. Dragon down to 2,000. They would have to steal this one, but it's gone. Wildcard grab this one and head for the hills. The chase is on from Rock Tribe, but can they find any kills? No, they simply will let Wildcard walk away, and that is soul denied.
And that's what I was talking about in draft here, Necrox, from Wildcard Developmental. You have the tools to outplay. And so it kind of becomes incumbent on you to be able to win these fights. Rock Tribe will do what they do, which is throw that engage out. And if you get around it, you're A-okay. You're good. For Rock Tribe, this is just a 5-minute speed bump. And we haven't talked too much about scaling Necrox, but both these teams scale fairly well. So Rock Tribe is not worried that Wildcard Developmental is just going to outscale. Yeah, you've got a Viego. Yes, you've got a Tristana, but Ashe can carry late very, very well as well. You're probably not going to see Serpent's Fang come out, I don't think, for Rapid or for Crazy Goose. So the shielding from Pause 2 is still going to be fine. Seraphine scales up, and Mundo is going to be just as big as an annoyance in the late game, if not more so than the Volibear.
Yeah, picking up the Anathema's chains here, I believe, as well. On top of it all, yeah, there it is. Hopefully we can get word on who that's bound to. But regardless, going to be pretty difficult to take down this front line, as we've said all game. Wildcard Developmental, though, thinking about making a play here. Sitting up in Tribrush, just waiting for their opponents to check through the fog of war. But little do they know there's no one here. And yeah, it's a party. It's a party, man. Turn on the DJ music. Get some lights going. 30 gold to Cleave. Massive income.
I like what they're doing here. I appreciate it. I do think that's how they get back into the game, is you look for these picks. That's what I call for. Unfortunately, you can't afford to sit around too long. Hawkshot is still a skill in the game right now, and Vark is able to just use that to scout you out. So if you're not able to find a pick in, I'd say 15, 20 seconds, move on. Maybe set up a different bush, but that was the one they had the pink in. Rock Tribe right now have managed to reclaim their jungle for the most part, and they're going to be happy with this. Clonk can afford to just push the bot lane here. TPs are available for all the lanes, for all the laners who are carrying that teleport here. So I'm expecting to see a bit more of a Baron dance coming out, a bit more trying to set up the wave states before we see either team really pull the trigger on this.
Yeah, Rock Tribe now understanding that Wildcard have used all their vision resources. They have used just about everything here to get into this river and lay down the vision. They will now sweep this one out. Scuttle Crab secured though, so that one will at least give Wildcard some idea about where Rock Tribe are, or at least if they try to start up this Baron. But Vark, with that Hawkshot, man, as you mentioned, maybe an underrated tool a lot in solo queue, but in competitive, that is unaccessible value for Rock Tribe. I mean, there's nothing else in the game that saves you from these points where you're like, are they on the objective? Are they starting Baron? Are they trying to trade something away? And so many times it's been so useful, as now the full recalls will come through. Blue Trinket there, and we're just waiting, RMC. We're waiting, twiddling our thumbs for this next objective, because these two teams are not willing to scrap over anything. They're stand 10 miles away from one another.
I'm going to put that on Wildcard Developmental. I mean, they're also making better use of the map right now. While we saw Rock Tribe sort of grouping up, looking for that push into the Baron area there, you could see that Avano was farming top, Izo was farming bot, and they're still making sure that Rapid and Crazy Glue are picking up farm as well. So they're just kind of scaling up for the most part. That Scuttle, as you mentioned there, Necrox, it's just so important because now they know if Rock Tribe are going to get in there. They don't have a lot of champions who can just get over the wall. There's only Ray on the Graves. That's literally the only person who can sneak into that bush around the Scuttle. Now that Scuttle is down, Rock Tribe can set up and try and force that. Or they can wait for a minute 20 here. They wasted, or I should say wasted, they whipped both their ultimates before the last dragon here. If they do have them available, again, they're just going to walk in, they're going to threaten it, and Wildcard just have to play so careful until they see it going down.
Yeah, just need to make sure they can find something. Trivia threatening the engage. There's the arrow onto Cleave. Pulverize. Headbutt not available quite yet. He gets tossed back with a buster shot. Cleave has to flash all the same. Teleports in. Flash Spectral Maw onto Ray. But he's going to escape. Big damage on the back line. Vark is fine, though. He's going to survive. Massive encore. Big CC Trivia. They slay the Volibear, and now they're looking for more. Clonk using the ulti to keep himself healthy. But Wildcard Developmental have lost their top laner. They need to be careful not to take too much damage to this Victor, though. Death Ray will take Clonk to about a fifth of his HP. Massive healing and shielding, though, coming in from Pause 2, as Wildcard are low HP, but they own the river.
They have better sustain. They've got the Seraphine here. So for the side of Wildcard Developmental, you need to finish this fight or you need to skedaddle. Rock Tribe is already back up to almost full health to everybody. That's disgusting.
I mean, Clonk is just sitting here walking around. Look at the swag. He's just chilling out, healing up HP, and Wildcard have now made the decision. They cannot fight this, so a 5-on-5 fight that goes 1-0 plus HP means that Rock Tribe are now sitting on Mountain Soul with Trivia, who was unkillable, with Clonk, who is unkillable, and with the healing and shielding from Pause 2, this team just went from a nightmare to game over, man. Wildcard are in a rough spot. The arrow goes. Doesn't have Hawkshot this time. He wants to check it with something, though, as Wildcard know they need to start trading objectives, and they're going to start this one up.
Oh, they waited for the vision to expire right now. They're in there, and I don't think Rock Tribe is aware of this. They don't
Oh my
know.
gosh. They don't know this one's going down. They use the arrow. It is a false sense of security.
Oh!
And Baron Nashor has been slain by Wildcard under the noses of Rock Tribe. Just as I said, the win condition for Rock Tribe came true. It is Wildcard sneaking away the best buff in the game.
This is why Enchanted Crystal Arrow is not Hawkshot. It doesn't give you full vision. And because nobody got hit, they were not aware that there were members nearby. Again, as soon as the vision expired, they just went in. And Wildcard Developmental, they put another pause on the game. I want to point out, too, Wildcard Developmental has not fallen behind in gold very much. Despite the fact that almost all the dragons went the way of Rock Tribe, despite the fact they've been winning the last couple of fights, Wildcard Developmental is even. And they're still fine to fight this. Like I said, their skilling is not bad here. And if they can find a kill on anybody but Trivia Boy, then Rapid's going to be able to really pop up. I'm just still waiting for that kill on anybody but the cow.
Yeah, it's just one. All it takes is one reset. You get the ult, you get HP back. And he's got 3 items. Got the Sunderer, got the Bork, got the Sterex, even the Merc Treads to make sure the CC doesn't last all too long. But with Baron Siege here in for Wildcard, now it's Rock Tribe that really need to just group mid and try to keep this wave out from their base. Meanwhile, the side waves are the issue here. Rock Tribe cannot respond. Avano will drop tier 2 in the top lane. Nice shot will stop the recall. Maybe there's an engage angle here. Baron recall is denied by a collateral damage, and now Avano's in a little bit of trouble. He's going to be headshot, pulverized, and taken down in a second before he gets a return kill and almost walks out like the freaking James Bond of UPL. Wildcard now sieging mid lane as Rock Tribe took too long to kill the enemy mid laner. Bot wave shoved, mid wave shoved, and it's full on retreat for Rock Tribe as they lose inhibitor turret.
one mistake from Rock Tribe, and all that happened was they just funneled a little bit too hard onto Ivano, and you could see the call. Immediately they punished. Can they find more here? Root lands.
Okay, there's an encore available. There it goes. It's gonna find two. Rocket jump away from the AD carry, but I think they've left Cleave to die. He is dead. He's a sacrificial Galio for now, but can they chase even further? Volley does not land. Very hard to catch up to this volley. He will pop his Q and walk away. There's the blast cone over the wall as well. So wildcard escape. Rock Tribe grab one of the back end, but they lose their base. Big mistake there from RTE, and wildcard developmental punish at a moment's notice.
This, Necrox, this is why wildcard developmental have not dropped a single game, a single map in this division here. Even when you think they're losing, they're not. They're just biding their time. They wait and they punish. That is their inhibitor down. Sure, you get one turret, and this is only the second turret that Rock Tribe have gotten the entire game here, but it's scant comfort. You're now down 3,500 gold right now, and more importantly to me, Ivano has shown that in a pitch, he can still burst somebody down before he dies. He can get that at least one kill, and we already said, if you can get that one kill on anybody but the cow and anybody but the support, Rapid has a chance to pop off and carry the rest of the fight.
Yeah, and so does the rest of the team as well. You not only have resets on your Viego, you got resets on Crazy Goose and the Tristana, who now sits at 3 items. It feels like just a moment ago, RMC. It was a 1.5 item Tristana, blink, and now we're at 3, plus the Executioners here for Crazy Goose. So massive damage certainly here on the table for Wildcard Dev. As Rock Tribe, they had their win condition. They got their dragon, they got what they were looking for, but they have now lost everything, and the table has completely turned around as Rock Tribe have no vision once again. X-Slash being channeled there, won't find the mark for the headbutt pull, but 90 seconds could be a game-determining fight if Wildcard don't want to take one within that time period.
I mean, right now, Rock Tribe, you're the one looking to engage. You're the one with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. It's kind of a, oh, here we go.
Oh, they found the arrow, but can they find the kill? Heartbreaker away from Rapid, along with Justice Punch to safety. Massive encore, but flashed away from Cleave. So important not to allow that range to extend. He's only being a little bit of danger here, but he'll be able to walk out as well. And the siege is right back to it, RMC. You lose 2 cooldowns, but now it's time for Rock Tribe to lose the base. Death Ray gonna zone off as well with the gravity well, but yeah, mid lane still shoved, top lane still shoved, Super's pushing in bot. Rock Tribe are being ripped apart at the seams. They have to choose one way to fight. You gotta draw the line to the sand somewhere.
They can't, Necrox. They tried it once before, and we saw what happened. If you come up too hard into any one lane, Wildcard's just going to rip the rest of your base to shreds here. And you know what? For Wildcard developmental, they have to back off here because the Elder Drake is about to spawn. In fact, Izo might be a little bit too late.
Oh no, if he gets caught out, this is so bad. He's gonna have to burn the ulti over the wall with a Stormbringer, but that cooldown will not be online for when this Elder descends onto Summoner's Rift. That is massive. Pause 2 still clearing out the wave in base, has teleport. It is Rapid on a flank angle. Teleport's coming in from both Wildcard members. Pause still in base, looking to find his way to TP, and now Elder not started up just quite yet, but Rock Tribe are shoved away.
Note that Pause 2 was a sustain. Without Pause 2 here, the poke and the sustain are both a lot lower. They found Tristana.
Oh, they found the engage. Trivia's trying to go in, but he gets knocked up and topped out away. Trivia's low, going golden in with a massive encore to find 2. The fight's going to start out now. Ray is low, using the Xerax to get proc, but Clog's the first one to fall. Lafano's picking a kill up on that. Taunt's gonna find the enemy support, and they take down Trivia. Ray's at 1 HP, double killing over to Wabano, and Wildcard with one swift move will take down Rock Tribe Esports. They tried to contest the Elder, but Vision is too damn important. Hawk Shot's temporary, but Wildcard is forever. They will siege the base for the last time and take game 1.
What a huge reversal coming through from Wildcard there. The patience and the way they absorbed all the pressure on the engage as well. That, to me, Necrox, I think, was the most stunning thing, watching how that fight went off. Crazy Goose got caught multiple times in that fight. Enchanted Crystal Arrow found Crazy Goose. The Encore found Crazy Goose. The beat drop from Seraphine found it a 3rd time in that fight there. And it did not even matter. They soaked the damage. And more importantly, the damage they put down wiped the tanks out from Rock Tribe Esports. Without the tanks, everything collapses. Front to back works great as long as you have a front that can protect the back.
Yeah, honestly, that was really good stuff from Wildcard. One fight is all it took. I said it earlier in that game, they hadn't won a single fight. It's because they hadn't won a single 5v5. Maybe you call it a win on the bot lane play. That was their first ever real 5-on-5 team fight win, and it came when it mattered the most. But more importantly than that, I think that team fight was good. They played the macro game so well, pulling Rock Tribe all over the map. That Baron, that's a huge mistake, and they used it to such great extent, grabbing that bot lane inhibitor, making sure Pozju can't be in the fight, which means they have to walk away from Elder. And all it takes is one mistake and Wildcard punish, and they get game one for it.
Yeah, and with that in the books here, I mean, we've already set the stakes a little bit, right? Wildcard Gaming, they're guaranteed to make it into the playoffs now. They just needed one more win, and they're in. Rock Tribe, on the other hand, every win counts right now. They are literally neck and neck with Striking Vipers Maestro. Their game scores are dead even. Series scores are dead even here. So sure, you lost game one, but they want to bounce back. They want to make sure they pick up, at least one win here, maybe two if they can get it.
Yeah, certainly some really good stuff from Rock Tribe. Honestly, they had Wildcard on the ropes there for a little bit with the objectives under the belt. Well, we will see if they can do it. For now, we will go to our analyst desk where they're going to break things down in just a moment. Stick around for game two.
And welcome back to the desk, everybody. Y'all get to get Ravage joining here by Letterman Zone White and Mr. Hollywood himself. Guys, let's just talk about the game a little bit because it was definitely not what we were expecting, anticipating. But I gotta say, I was enthralled watching almost every second of it because from the compositions to what happened in those team fights to the 40-minute blowout that eventually went on to, it was a back and forth tug of war, but it had to start somewhere, John. It started down to that bot lane.
Yeah, coming from a player's perspective and someone who's played in the collegiate scene for quite a bit, it's very easy to see where the teams went right and also where they went wrong. And something that I value really highly is the ease of execution for teams. How easy is how easy is it to play? How much mechanics will they have to actually perform during the game? And we see with Rock Tribe, they had a very easy to execute comp. Seraphine's very easy to play. Mundo very easy to play. Things like Ashe and things like Alistar. Something that I like a lot is the ease of execution, and that's something that we saw over the game and why they almost actually won. I was very impressed by Rock Tribe and their play. I think, like you said, talking about the bot lane, that's just where it all happened. Obviously, you're not going to have too many games to the top side with a double take matchup. And in the mid lane where Seraphine Victor, it's kind of hard to just wave clear monsters. So what that game came down to was the bot lane ganks. And we saw 3 dragons go up to Rock Tribe very early. So it was very well played by them. And I think Wildcard just actually played really well into that. They had the confidence to go in. Their comp is Galio and Volibear, right? So they just kind of went in and they stuck to their strengths. So.
And as it continued on throughout the entire game, that was the biggest thing, how they decided to just simply charge in, especially on the back of Iso, who decided whether my team is a screen away from me or right behind me, I'm going to jump in a one person. And if I die, then c'est la vie, Lennon. But past all of that, the one main point that even Hollywood was raising as well, within these compositions, things flowed so easily, but one person had to come out on top.
I'm just gonna throw a little shout out to Iso there. Gets the Tahm Kench band away from him. Still able to perform really well here on that one. So I like that a lot. But it was the chaos in the team fights that really stuck out to me. It seems like the direction is a little bit lost, and I would like to see a little bit more clarification when we're getting down to those objectives. The setup, especially ahead of time, right? It seemed like it was a little bit chaos jumped together at the last moment, and you could see it play out through the fights. And I think that there was a lot more that could have been done from Rock Tribe because of the setup that you had, because of that ease of execution that you were talking about, Hollywood, but it just didn't come together when the picks started coming through for Wildcard.
And one big thing on the back of all that too, because although Wildcard kept getting these consistent picks, it really didn't necessarily show in terms of their overall goal lead or their items, that what they were able to really accomplish, right? Really where Wildcard made up for a lot of the difference was off of the back of, a couple of hero plays, taking that Baron, and John, you mentioned during the game about them taking away like 1 or 2 dragons, even while losing the soul on the back of it. But their macro play too, on how they utilize very certain neutral objectives, especially that Baron, to consistently push their lead across the entire map, even though they kept falling in these team fights and trading, jungler for support, or top laner for support, or mid and top for support. You're beginning to notice a pattern here that I'm pointing out. Let me know if you actually are able to find it. Now coming on top, I think yet again goes back to the point we were saying before, that within this league, Wildcard, and I just cut about the rest in terms of overall macro play. So John, if you're looking at Rock Tribe as of right now, what are you saying to them in their ear on what they can do better?
Definitely stay confident in where you're good at. I think a lot of teams, they can kind of shy away after they lose and they say, hey, this didn't work because we lost. Like, no, take away the good things and take away the composition. I think was excellent. One thing that Wildcard did mess up a little bit on was their execution. I think Viego, obviously very hard to play in team fights, or more difficult than Graves or Galio or something. But yeah, stick to what you know, and I think Rock Tribe can actually pull it out. They played really. I was really impressed by them actually. I don't know any of their players. I'm not too well versed in the amateur scene as I am in the collegiate scene, but I'm really excited to see this game too.
And Lennon, your thoughts on Rock Tribe or and the overall game as well?
I think The pressure is on here as we get in the series. You want to
Yeah.
be able to take a win off of wildcard developmental. You want to make put a little dink in the armor or so, but as well
Sure.
as this team feeling confident in those pressure-filled moments. So I'm really wanting to see what the draft is looking like for game number 2. See where that kind of ease of execution that we were highlighting comes through for Rock Tribe, but also see the communication and target selection in game be a little bit smoother.
That remains to be seen here, gentlemen, because we do want the best Rock Tribe, baby. We want them to be cut above the rest. John, you were mentioning an underdog story. Always makes us feel better. You being on the other side of it can speak very well to it. So we'll see if Rock Tribe can show up and show out today. Or will Wildcard and they can take another 2-0. Necrox and RMC, show us what y'all got.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back here to UPL on the caster desk. I am Necrox, once again joined by RMC, and, well, my friend, game 1, it was something. It was really, really RTE, and then it really, really wasn't until that one play, that one Baron, and Wildcard just tore the base apart.
Yeah, and apparently they tore them so hard apart, Necrox, that our cameras got busted while we were at it. We're particularly pixelated here, but you know what? If anything, it just serves to highlight the point right here, right? It was shocking. It was weird. It was not expected. You heard on the analyst desk as well. Rock Tribe, they had a good, solid composition. They had the ease of execution. They had all the tools they needed. Maybe they faltered a little bit on the setups, but generally speaking, they really should have had it, even in that last fight. But it kind of fell apart. And like Hollywood said, take away the good, right? Your comp was solid. Your execution, for the most part, was fairly decent. Just polish up a little things, and a couple of things, they should be fine. Now, I believe we did get word that Wildcard Developmental is swapping out their jungler. Rapid is being ripped by, I believe it was Maniac, we've been told. Now, I've not seen Maniac play. I don't know too much about Maniac either here, but I do know that he plays Viego. So maybe we see the Salty run back with that Viego once again and see if he can execute it better, because it really felt like a lot of those fights, literally, if they had just got one more kill, if they got one more execute off, things would have been different.
Yeah, very, very different indeed. And by the name alone, I'm hoping for some fast-paced gameplay. I mean, you got a name like Maniac, you got to do some stuff that's crazy, and that was anything but crazy from Wildcard last game. They sat back, waited for their opponents to get soul, did a little dance here and there, took Baron and ended the game basically. But honestly, I'm thinking we got a difference here in game 2. Not sure Rock Tribe can be particularly happy about the way that one played out. You look like you have a different opinion, though. So go ahead and hit me with that.
I was just gonna say, Necrox. I think the Wildcard Developmental might have some inside intel, because you see, I heard that Rock Tribe, they're playing on a bit of a timer here. Ray Leon has a hot date coming in tonight with a girl named Sarah, and so they're just stalling it out. That's all they're doing, because they know that now they got that one win. Rock Tribe, they're on a timer. They're gonna have to speed run this, and I don't know if Ray Leon is gonna play properly, or maybe he O2's this to get to his hot date.
I mean, Klonk could join them as well. I know he's a big fan. We'll see, though, if that one does happen. Honestly, I'm hoping Sarah has to wait. I'm hoping we get a game 3. Sorry, Sarah. I'm sure you're great. But game 3 in League of Legends over hot date night any day. I mean, come on. That's with me on this. For real. I honestly, a lot of different here from Rock Tribe. I know they can be a crazy team. I've seen them be a crazy team. That was not a crazy draft. That I think I can out team fight you, and against a team like Wildcard Dev, that's a really hard statement to manage to make true. I think we're gonna get something with a little more spice and some more action in the early stages.
Okay, Necrox. You know what? Since you want the spice, and since you know the side of Rock Tribe a little bit better here, I think most of the analysts and myself agree that their comp was fine, standard, everything was okay. So what spice are you expecting to see, or do you want to see here, Necrox, to really make things pop?
All right, so are we like a medium spice kind of guy, or are you like really full send? Because I could give you some hot takes. Varus, like medium spice, like that champion, everyone plays that champion, Vark plays that champion. That's like entry level spice. I'll tell you though,
every ADC is playing that champion.
I've seen Klonk Gronk Zonk literally just play anything, like random click his keyboard and goes, yep, that's the champion I want this game. And Sure, why not? Clonk literally just demolishes everyone, or at least he used to. Maybe not this game or this time in game 1 against the Volibear. Bear. Mundo, yeah, get that out of here. Give me something better. Whether it's Tahm Kench, I don't think so. That one's probably going to be banned. But I really want to see Clonk specifically on a carry. Think he can pull it off. Just give him the agency to do it in draft, and then we'll see how spicy things get topside.
For sure. And you know what? Last game, they did ban the Tahm Kench and Rock Tribe was red side. So they had to be careful. We are getting side swaps this time. Rock Tribe opting to go on blue. So they have first pick. Maybe we see that Tahm Kench. Maybe we see Kled. It wasn't banned last time. And I've been told that Kled is sort of a signature champion of Zonks.
Yeah, definitely as well. So far, 1 out of 100% success rate. Tahm Kench still available here on the draft. Lucian taken away. Zoe as well. Pause 2 on his Zoe. Incredibly good. Definitely take that one off of the table. The question is, what is left up? Because Zoe taken away means the Power 3 are still online. So we will see where things are headed. But I'm interested. B1 here is such a valuable pick. And when you target ban, you leave a lot of things open. Ash? Sure, go ahead, take it off.
Okay, so this changes things up a lot. The Seraphine and Ash bans are new here. We saw a lot of jungle pinching in the first set of bans, right? Diana, Xin Zhao, Lee Sin, all taken away. Not all of them can be banned. Okay, and Rock Tribe, they banned Tahm Kench. We don't see that. And that means every jungle is open right now. Xin Zhao can be first pick. There we go.
Yeah, even though you get nerfs to your W cooldown late game, it does not matter. This champion still duels incredibly in the early stages here, and that is what you pick him for. You don't pick him for the late game team fights. All he does is press R and push everyone out. Diana pushes R and pulls everyone right the hell back in. RMC, you're not going anywhere. Diana is in. Love to see it from Rapid. Aggressive playmaking, scaling, farming. This champion just does it all.
Okay, and the Thresh insta-lock here coming through for Cleve as well. Now, again, this was Cleve's first game, last game we saw with that Galio pickup here. But one thing that is interesting is Crazy Goose has played with a lot of Thresh supports. Regardless of whether it was Kuz or Yasin, they played Thresh with Crazy Goose. So I like this pickup here on this Thresh because once again, it opens up the pool. It lets him play a whole bunch of things. Now, the Ashe is taken away, so we won't see the Ashe Thresh combo that we've seen coming through from Wildcard Developmental a lot. But we did see the Aphelios, however, from the side of Rock Tribe. That has to be in the back of their mind that the OG, or not exactly OG, but the very commonplace combo of Thresh and Aphelios is available for Wildcard.
Yeah, I'll call it the OG pairing with the Aphelios for sure. Definitely want to grab that Thresh for the Lantern safety, even a little bit of lane pressure with something like the hook and the sort of long range you get. But Lulu and Nautilus, those two champions are of the same pod, which means one of them is not going to the support role. And I'm 99.9% sure Pause 2 has drafted something for a solo lane.
I would kill to see a Nautilus jungle here, but I probably won't be. I mean, the Xin Zhao's already been
picked. Xin Zhao, hello?
Solo lane Xin Zhao. Have you not seen the power of AP Xin Zhao? That said,
that's
Lulu,
spicy.
We have seen, yeah, that is not the right spice though. The Lulu, we have seen Zonk play it, and I was not a fan of support champions or enchanters in the top lane for Klonk. It feels like it limits him almost. He doesn't get to be that huge force of nature that we love to see coming through. So hopefully, maybe it goes to Pause 2. Pause can certainly play it. I don't know if it's the choice here considering the champion pool. And for the side of Wildcard, it's that Varus you're talking about, Necrox, but not for Vark. It's going to Crazy Goose.
Yeah, not entry-level spice here for Vark. They're just going and picking this one up. It is a pretty dang good champion. When we have Lulu on the opposing squad as well, you can pick up Serpent's Fang pretty easy on this champ because he does love that lethality build with the Halo Blades, early poke damage in fights. Easy pickup there. Syndra and Ziggs both taken off the table here, RMC. Again, maybe, I was about to catch myself. Targeting mid lane, Ziggs, not exactly a mid laner. Vayne, though, is on the other end, 80 carry. So interesting. What are we getting with this Nautilus? That would be the main question into the Varus Thresh.
The Vayne ban is definitely huge respect here, but the Ziggs, I like it because Ziggs has come to priority, does really well into picks like the Varus, and the scaling is great as well. So I think that's just a nice takeaway. Continued respect to Ivano here with the Syndra and Ryze bans coming through, but we saw him blind pick the Victor He could
Yeah.
just do it again here if he wants. Save the last pick for Izo, who we saw managed to beat Klonk Zonk. And now, if you do leave that last pick to Izo, you guarantee yourself yet another winning lane. Diana's going to scale up. Thresh Varus is a super safe lane. There's no need to risk anything. Instead, set pickup is potentially a flex, but is generally more of an Izo champ than a Nirvana champ.
Yeah, certainly. And it would make sense, right? Put it top lane. Pretty hard to find a really bad matchup there for the set. There are a couple that Klonk could play. And again, if you want to get spicy, this would be your time. Vark, though, needs to be a big carry. I'm going to be honest, I don't love the Kai'Sa here. You index so heavily in a big carry. And unless Klonk is pulling it out, which again, I truly hope he is, Kai'Sa is just not that champion. Lulu Kai'Sa, it's good, but it ain't great. And Volibear ain't that champion either. So lots of support for not a lot of damage here for Rock Tribe.
Okay, so they're putting that Lulu mid here, which, okay, that's fair. I don't think Lulu has a great matchup into set necessarily here. And I think mid is just so much easier to assist your jungler, help Ray, get ahead with those shields. That 2v2 duel is very, very strong. And Diana was already going to struggle into Xin Zhao in the first place. Xin Zhao originally a counter to come out to that Diana back in the Diana Rumble meta. But now you don't really have a good mid laner who can help you. Even if you pick another enchanter, it's not going to be enough here. Jace being picked up will at least lane quite comfortably into the Lulu. Lulu is a bit of a lane bully to most melee matchups or shorter range matchups here. But Jace, you can sit back, you can poke, and then when they're kind of low, maybe then you call in for a bit of jungle help. So Wildcard Developmental, I like where their team's going in terms of scaling, in terms of that mid to late game team fight. And as Hollywood put it, ease of execution is there for this composition. Rock Tribe, I feel like, have put themselves on a bit of a timer. They want to win early. They need to get this Xin Zhao online, and they need to find some sort of lead for this Kai'Sa, for Vark. As you rightly pointed out, Necrox, if that Kai'Sa falls behind, this comp is going to be so difficult to try and play into.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that. It's a timer here for Rock Tribe. They need not to only win early in this game with the Kai'Sa, using Nautilus Kai'Sa to its full extent. They need to win early in fights as well. You cannot outlast the poke of Avaris and Jason team fights. These two throwing out shock blast, throwing out arrows left and right. Eventually something hits, and trust me, that damage will stick. You can build a Moonstone on the Lulu. Honestly, nowadays that doesn't feel too great to heal up. It's really not that important. Either way, this Varus Jace are going to do mad damage, and if you index into armor and Maniac, the sub jungler here for Wildcard Dev, if he's even remotely ahead of this Diana, all your armor, yeah, that ain't do nothing to a Diana with a 4-man ulti. Everyone gets eviscerated.
You don't even really need to get ahead. Diana is one of the strongest scaling junglers right now. Just go even, and you will hit harder as a truck. So definitely going to be tracking where we're going to see Ray Leon throwing those early ganks here. And I mean, last game we saw that top lane, they wanted nothing to do with that. But with the Xin Zhao, I think you can kill that set. That is a potential lane to gank. I almost want to see it kind of camping that bot lane a little bit though. That Varus, that Thresh, because your Nautilus is a counter to that Thresh. It should give you a bit safer or a bit of an easier engage onto these Thresh Varus combination we see. And the moment you throw that Xin Zhao in there, it should overwhelm them. And Maniac on this Diana, theoretically, on paper, unless we see TPs coming down from everybody here, they should not win that 3v3.
Yeah, very hard to do as well. Nautilus Kai'Sa, potent 2v2, so maybe there's something here for Rock Tribe even without the jungler assistance, but it's very hard to put on pressure against something like Avaris. He is notorious for lane bully. Typically, you can outrange him, but not Kai'Sa. She's not doing that. She wants the all-in with the Hail of Blades, so we'll see what they can do in the 2v2. Gotta mention it though, topside, when you get an R5 Jace, it signals danger. Not sure that you can do all too much into the big meatball that is a Volibear, but I'm hoping this Jace can really push the lead. Saw it last game. Klonk didn't get demolished, but certainly was behind, and they've given him another losing matchup. So Spice be damned. We're just getting the Jace. NA Jace memes, get them ready, because I mean, you either win your lane and you're super far ahead and your shock blast do 3/4 of the enemy AD carries HP, or you're throwing water balloons. It's really just one or the other.
Hey man, I'm still looking for that Jace mid. And I think, yeah, sure, against the Volibear, you ain't gonna do much, but against a Lulu, that's a different story. Sure, you've got shields, but at the same time the poke's going to land. And I want to point something out too. Last game, we saw the Seraphine for pause 2 being very impactful in terms of being able to sustain through the initial poke, the initial sort of face off, the Baron dances, the Dragon dances. Lulu does not heal you. She provides you a shield. She can negate the upfront damage, but any damage that lands sticks. And we already talked about Varus Chase and the fact that they can poke a metric crap ton here. And that shield is, you can only put it on one person, right? So whoever else is getting hit is going to hurt. Varus Qs, those arrows aren't blocked by people blocking it. They just flat out cut through everybody. So you have to shield the priority targets, or you have to make sure that you dodge everything. And I mean everything.
Yep. You're playing dodgeball, and it's not a game of dodgeball that you're ever going to win. Ketchin doesn't get the enemy out in this one. You just want to get out of the way. RMC, I got one final question for you here. Obviously, Wildcard Dev pulling out a win in game 1. If there's a way for Rock Tribe back into this series, who are they riding on? Whose shoulders are bearing the weight of this best of 3 series?
Ooh, boy.
It's a big one.
If you ask me whose shoulders bear the weight of losing, of not losing, I'd just say Ray, because he's the one who's got the hot date. But you know what? I will say that the burden for winning, I'm going to put that on Ray again, because we talked so much about the Xin Sao early. So I need to see that Xin Sao early pop off here. So Ray, we watch Ray and hope that he can get the early ganks off, get his lanes going, and get them the lead they need to in going into the mid game.
All right, you heard it here first. RMC says it. Game 3 league more important than hot dates. UPL will be right back with Summoner's Rift in just one moment. Don't go anywhere. Welcome everyone to Summoner's Rift as the summoners line up and ready to go. That's an interesting dance there. Mr. Crazy Goose says he's very excited, RMC, just as excited as you and I, to get underway with Game 2 Wildcard Dev, taking this 1-0 so far.
And we see Rock Tribe again grouping up. It's not the 5 stack, but they're just running straight up mid as a group. Holy, my goodness, I just got a heart attack.
Oh
The
my
flash is
gosh.
coming up from both
Trivia!
supports.
Psycho!
It's worth it though. I mean, he's got the Hex Flash, so that's a win right now for this bot lane. I love that that Rock Tribe constantly with this level 1 aggression. The tides are going to get turned though, as Wildcard Developmental is invading into this top side right now, and Crazy Goose, I was wondering if he was going to get potentially flanked out by Trivia Boy, but they're going to leave him alone for now.
Yeah, they'll leave him alone for the time being, and looks like our suspicions were confirmed. It will be paused to on that Lulu with the Volibear top lane for Klonka. Vano on the Jace, and Set headed top side as well. So no Jace top, no NA Jace memes. Can't do those in mid lane. It doesn't have the same effect. Ward on this start here, at least not start for Wildcard Dev, as that will die soon. But I'm interested to see these junglers are headed towards the same side of the map, dueling both very strong, but Ray should absolutely have the upper hand if they do meet at this fateful crab.
And they had all the vision down, so they are going to know right now that Ray did start topside. And as you mentioned, like, it's going to be a question, is Maniac going to try and contest the same crab? I somewhat doubt it. You don't really have great prio in the lanes on the bot side to help you out necessarily. I mean, you do get good poke and good clear from Averus, but he has to burn a lot of mana to have that happen here. Whereas for the Kai'Sa, if that happens, you just throw out a hook from that Nautilus, you look for the pick, and then you look for the kill here. So very risky if they do want to contest same side of map.
Certainly, especially without the flash from Cleave. Vern level 1, that is 2 games in a row. This time, at least, he earns one for himself. Level 2, though, you have no flash. Be careful. Hooked in. Massive damage. Flash forward. Ignites ticking. They can't get the kill. Vark now has to cleanse as he's on the run. Flash auto follow. Vark 1 HP. First blood wild card as they take down Vark on the overextension.
Well, that's a switch up here, Necrox. Game 1, it was Bark and Trivia Boy finding that first blood. This time, the tides are turned, and we talked so much about that burnt flash from Cleave. Turns out, didn't even matter. It was bait. Good enough, Crazy Goose turns it around, and this bot lane suddenly becomes a lot harder once Crazy Goose gets to go back, gets to pick up the early items. You already said the Kai'Sa needs to try and find something early, so eyes on Ray. Can Ray change this bot lane?
Certainly going to need to intervene, at least, to make something happen. And honestly, you talked about it as well just before we went to break here, RMC. Ray is the member we want not only intervening in bot lane, but intervening all across the map. We want to see him make plays. Voidseeker will cancel that recall, actually, and really low for Crazy, so he'll have to wait even longer. But here comes the crab effort. This one should easily go to Ray as well, so we'll be a little bit slower here for Maniac as he tries to wrap his way back around to top crab, or instead may just get double scuttled if he's too slow on it.
Yeah, look at the lane states here, Necrox. Pause 2 is pushed up. Clonk is pushed up as well right now. And so if a fight were to break up for top scuttle, Maniac doesn't get back up for the lanes. And Trivia Boy is roaming all the way up here as well. I think he's sat on top of a ward right now, so they are aware he's here. But just his very presence is going to mean that Diana, unfortunately, can't contest, will fall behind. And Ray, despite not getting the early ganks, this is still another way of getting an early jungle lead.
Yeah, certainly, and good start here for Ray and Rock Tribe, minus the incident, we'll call it, in the bot lane, at least for their jungler. As, yeah, Maniac knows there's really not an easy angle here without level 6 onto Klonk. Will do his Krugs for now, wave crashing. Klonk sticking around, though. Wants to make sure this one fully gets in and maybe even sneak some plates, but won't be able to do that. Pretty hard to walk up like that against a Set, so we'll just hang around for now as he goes to drop a ward. Well done. TP back into mid as well from Pause 2. Will expend his similar timer here, but 2 teleports still available on the map.
You know, Necrox on the AD, we talked a bit about, you know, the Tahm Kench angle for Iso and Klonk here. I don't think it's a Tahm Kench angle. It's looking like a volley angle. The volley keeps winning these lanes right now.
Yeah, I mean, who needs Tom Kench when he licks you when Volibear has claws? I mean, that seems like simple mathematics to me. Easy damage output. You heard it first. Tom Kench doesn't build Sunroar. That means he doesn't do damage, right? He doesn't just one-shot everyone on the map for no reason, as Rock Tribe making this Volibear look good as always. Fully expect that one to come online once those items come through. Hex Flash being channeled meanwhile. Hook finds the mark. Beautifully done. There's the root. Lantern is an escape. The auto follows. Ignite's ticking crazy. The pots are in time. And 1 HP by the nick of it. Wild Card's AD carry survives. Well, does he? Yes, he does. He's all right.
Okay, but that unfortunately will cost Maniac this massive Gromp, though, unfortunately, topside.
Ooh, showstopper health popper, but there's the Stormbringer over the top, and a bite out of Iza will find the kill. Clonk solo kill the top lane.
And the trade of ults, Necrox, it's literally a game of interest in this top lane right now. Last game, the Volibear took over in Izo's hands. This time, Clonk is able to find the early advantage. And that is a solo kill. TP coming through from Izo to make sure he doesn't lose out too much more. And that means for Rock Tribe right now, if they want to go for Dragon, it's theirs. You have a TP advantage.
And Excellency, we had a saying about this one. When you solo die to Clonk, you just got bonked. And it's coming true here in the UPL as Izo feeling the pain of that one with the Volibear. Vano needs to run, flash over the wall, doesn't even need the Lantern. Hook doesn't find the mark, but Ray's going forward for the kill, and he's gonna find it as he takes down the enemy mid laner. Now it's Cleave and Maniac having to run. The flash expended, but Rock Tribe are all over this one as they find one more kill.
That was the most barbaric, brutal gank I've seen in a long time, Necrox. Ray flashed over into 3 people to secure that kill, and you could see them running. They could not take down the Xin Zhao. We said we wanted to see Xin Zhao pop off. We said we wanted to see Ray make plays happen. That's one way to do it right now. We are seeing the gold. It's not even that big a gold difference. I mean, we're only 7.5 minutes into the game. 400 gold is like 1 Duran's item.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it is. Thank you, RMC. That hopefully no one just expends the entire gold lead here for a Doran's item, but yeah, that's that is the laws of equivalent exchange. Oh, I love it, man. I love it. And I'm loving this game. Rock Tribe, honestly, they've looked so good in the early games. It's just all about how we transition later. Obviously, we're going to take some time to get there. This game, we had some question marks. I saw your face in draft. Their comp is built around a carry that doesn't exist. Hold on, though. Pause2's in a little bit of trouble. Flashing away, but he's just going to get taken down. Shock blast to the face, buddy. How does that one feel?
Not great for this Lulu, I'm sure. And no teleport either. You are going to lose this wave. And just as we are praising Rock Tribe here, Necrox, why you got to cast a curse them? Why you got to do them dirty like that?
Ah, man. It's just every time, no matter who. You ready? I'll throw one out there again. Dragon's up, and Wildcard are going to start this one, no problem. And there's going to be a contest. Someone's going to die. That is my prediction. They might get the dragon, but someone is paying the price for it. There you go. Caster curse, so it can't come true, but that's my prediction all the same.
Okay, topside though. Again.
Ooh, okay, that was interesting. Wow. He just takes no one forward with a showstopper haymaker. Beautiful flash from Clonk. And you got zonked, my friend. Rock Tribe top laner getting absolutely into it.
Okay, first of all, that interaction was nutty. I have not seen that before, but that does make Volibear a bit of a counter to the set if you can avoid the showstopper that way. The other thing I want to point out was Clonk used the flash there, but still has teleport. Teleport is still up, and Izo does not. So for all that they're trying to do this, Wildcard, no, if they start it up, this is not good for them.
What did I say? RMC, they're starting it up.
Oh, no.
Why are they doing this? They don't have top lane TP. Oh, this one's not going to be good. I don't feel that Rock Tribe should give this one up. They might ward, and they get the dragon, but instead of TPing down, Clonk decides to give it up. So Caster Curse, it came true. I was wrong, but it came true. They started up, and they get it for free.
Well, one thing you did Caster Curse, Necrox, was that nobody died. That is surprising to me, especially for Rock Tribe. they have the early advantage, and we talked about the fact that they need to snowball it. One of the ways you snowball it is by taking these objectives. The dragons, the heralds, they did not look at all at the dragon, and I just don't understand why. If you're going to do that, then look for the herald instead. Herald accelerates the game faster. They do neither. Instead, they go back to the laning. And sure, I expect to see Clonk continue to dominate this top side, and I expect to see Vark continue getting a CS advantage. I mean, that's already a sizable 25 CS gap in the bot side. But where else are you going to get leads? This Diana is going to keep scaling up. This Jace is going to become more annoying. And once you get into those siege situations, when third dragon rolls around, you're going to have problems if you're the side of Rock Tribe.
100% here for that piece. Rock Tribe really need to accelerate this one. And it's about opportunity cost. Yes, you take your recall. Yes, you get better items and you can return to your lane, sure. But what else could you have done? Now, finally, they decide to start the Rift Herald. Ray soloing this one. But I mean, it's a little bit late. Yes, they're going to grab some gold for it. Caster Curse again. Literally anything we say at this point is wrong. But regardless, I mean, I still would have liked to see this one sooner. But at least, you know, now maybe they've listened to us, understanding they really should keep up the tempo. Lane gank effort will be spotted out on a ward there. And just looking to crash this wave in. Varus going to grab the cleanse away from Bark.
Good back off there from Rock Tribe. They saw everybody coming. Ivano got spotted as well. Izo, can you get away?
Izo has a flash. Knock up here in just a second. Still has a haymaker though. That cooldown now expended just to siege away the dive. Same things happen on bot side though. It's just a mirror image here. Wildcard pushing away Rock Tribe's bot lane, but Rock Tribe pushing away Wildcard's top lane. And I think Rock Tribe come out on head because guess what? Rift Herald's in this pocket. I mean, you don't win this. Just drop it down, grab the turret. Or they're going to look for the kill all the same. There's Showstopper bringing him right back to where he belongs on this side of the map. Haymaker doing a little bit of damage, but Clonk is there, no problem. Easy kill. Rift Herald could be used again, but they're just going to hold on to it. All right, sure. You know what?
Stop. Please, just stop.
Man, I'm so upset.
I swear, they must be hearing us in real time.
Why? Can you explain to me why at least, RMC? Like, what's going on?
Okay, so honestly, not dropping the Herald here, I think, is the right call. You got the kill on Izo. That's going to give Clonk free time here on this turret. You get it low without the Herald. You can use the Herald in a different lane. You don't have to worry about that top anymore. It will go down. If Ray shows topside and Maniac is nowhere nearby, that's a guaranteed turret. Hell, right now, Clonk is going to be able to take it solo. So they knew they didn't need the Herald. If Izo did not step up and did not get caught, then they get the free pressure anyway. So it's insurance, which they didn't have to use here. Now they get to use it somewhere else, and they're going to try and give some of that gold to pause too. Okay.
I see, even you get bamboozled sometimes, you with your freaking big brain. I told you, man, nothing's making sense today. There's some full moon or something outside. These players are practical joke or something. But regardless, absolutely, they grab the top turret. They get some cash in mid lane as well, so they get the first turret gold all the same. And Rock Tribe really now push the tempo. This is what we wanted to see. Get ahead. May not be the biggest lead in kills, but the gold is certainly at least a start. Now it's about snowballing. You can see here, gold, just about everyone for Rock Tribe is doing all right. Jungle, topside doing good. Bot, not great because of the kill. But, I mean, you don't even care about Pause 2's farm. Like, that doesn't matter. He doesn't need gold. The rest of the members who need gold, yeah, they're doing great.
Are they going to contest this? They can, certainly.
Okay, there's the engage. Lots of damage, and Ray just goes down. Way too far. Crescent Guard doesn't save you from that one.
And I want to give huge props to Ivano right there, because the Xin Sao Lulu is the scary combo here. Did you see Lulu in that combo, Necrox? Because I sure didn't. Was out of range, and that was Necrox knocking back Ray. So Ray was kind of shoved completely out of range. The wild growths couldn't come down, the shields couldn't come down, and suddenly Ray just realized, oops, this isn't a 3v3, it's a 1v3.
Yeah, that's not where you want to be, and so they will have to give up a little bit of priority, even some poke onto Trivia as well. He is up, could race here, but I think the smart call here from Rock Tribe, just give this one up. You lost on the initial play, so cut your losses there, give over the objective, and really just make sure not to give what Wildcard want, which is to take the tempo back in this game. They have started doing that, but it's certainly not there quite yet. Second Dragon, though. will be secured. So not too far away from that evasive soul point.
I just love watching Wildcard set up for these objectives here. They're so methodical about it. Yeah, they get a lead and they know exactly how to snowball. Avano's positioning as well, standing right there, it just zones them off, right? Like, you have to engage onto him. You're not sure who else is behind him. They had no vision from the side of Rock Tribe into that river whatsoever. So one man is able to hold that pass right there and give Maniac the time he needs to be able to solo out that dragon. And for Wildcard, we talked about the fact that this time their scaling is better. So they are more than happy to take this slow. These 2 dragon takes means that we don't see a dragon soul for the side of Rock Tribe most likely.
I want to hammer that point home a little bit more, unless Kronk wants a fight here.
He's gonna hammer something
Couple
home.
shots to the back, but there's no turret to escape to, so this one's gonna get run down. Massive chomp there with a Sunder. But about that vision you were saying, RMC, it's even more impressive when you think about who's doing the dirty work. It is a sub jungler for Dev and a sub support. I mean, it's a new support, if that, for Wildcard. But regardless, the members who are in charge of getting down the vision in this game and really dictating that line of words, they're new to this team and they're making it look so easy.
Yeah. To be fair to Wildcard Developmental, I don't know if I'd call anybody on the team a sub anymore because of the way they just rotate things out. It feels like
He's
the only
new.
people who don't move.
Maniac sub in
yeah.
the series, Cleve new. It's all the same.
Fair enough, yeah. And you can already see they're both holding control wards in their pocket. In fact, Maniac just dropping one into the mid lane as well to help out a homie. Like, this team is playing together as a team. And look at what they're doing with Iso as well. This is why I'm very impressed with Iso. Iso can play weak side and still have impact, right? He's not falling any further behind. He already lost the first turret, and since then, it's been fine. He's not allowed Clonk to punish again, and the entire time he's not drawn resources to the top lane. Crazy Goose, though.
Okay, Varsalty in exchange for that one
Iso.
damage from Bark. Just making sure that this set, when he does arrive, he ain't the boss. He's just more like a little man running around, making sure, trying to clap people together. 0-3-0 with a Gore Drinker completed. Still strong, but certainly not the strength of someone like Clonk. Ulti traded will find the turret, though, here for Wildcard Developmental as they siege a little bit further. Now it's time for Pause 2 to have to back away as Wildcard rotate a couple members up here, push in this wave in mid, and maybe even look to knock this one down as well.
I get the feeling we're underestimating Iso because he's been playing against Clonk this entire time, and Clonk has just been an absolute monster. You can see the respect coming through from Mark. Mark didn't try and 1v1 Iso till the TP came. Iso can still do a nice chunk of damage, but for now, Ray continuing to get the Herald here. We saw the first Herald get some mileage in the mid lane here. If you drop it mid, you're guaranteed to get that turret as long as you can deliver Shelly there, but for now, they're content to try and invade here. We might get a chance to see more than just a 2v2 here. Are they gonna
Yeah,
go?
Cleve could start things off with a hook if he wanted to. Thinking about it instead, will just let this one simmer out, gets a ward over, and make sure there's no potential invade here to steal the red buff. 90 seconds RMC on this next dragon. Want to see what items we get before we get there, because Vark, yes, he does have his Q involved. You can see there 12 missiles all coming out from the Acathian Rain. But Rock Tribe, they should have enough here to pressure this mid, plus items to knock down this dragon very, very quickly. And Wildcard are pretty slow to respond to this.
Yeah, it's probably... Okay, I was going to say they might get a second charge off, but they all back off here. And I'm a little bit surprised they dropped it at that point in time here. They are rotating onto Avano, though, and only Ray is there.
Ray's looking for it. Push back, though. Flash out of Avano. Means he is not that threat to find the backline. There was no to the skies flash combination for this Jace in this upcoming fight. 46 seconds, but good stuff here from Wildcard. Maybe this set's not big, but you can still 1v1 Lulu. Surely. Easy pickings, solo kill for Iso as he picks up Pause 2 and now heads straight down towards this dragon pit.
Weak side Necrox, didn't see it. I told you, man, that he does damage with this build here. And if you're anybody not named Clonk, Zonk, or maybe Ray, you do have to respect this set here. I do love the way Wildcard also threatened the mid lane, stopped that push into the bot side as well. Actually did take that mid lane out of turret. And now, once again, they're setting up for Dragon. They don't have the vision aggressively into the side of Rock Tribe, but they do have all the control they need. And we talked about the poke here. The poke game can start to come out from Ivano and Crazy Goose. In fact, TP coming out from Pause 2 to make sure that they're there in time for this duel.
And that's what you need as well. You need Pause 2, making sure when these arrows and Shock Blast do land that you can at least deny some of that poke damage. Vark is in a really bad spot. He's not going to be able to join this without his killer instinct. He's going to need to blow that cooldown. Blast Cone will get him in, but now it's the fight going to start up. There's a Dredge line going to cancel the arrow. Massive engage to the backside. Claw finds so much damage, and now the Diana goes in, but doesn't get enough. Razor first one to fall. Arrow over the wall is going to find the mark as Maniac dies as well. Pause 2 is going to pick up the kill into Izo. The set is dead again. And now Rock Tribe with the winning fight can turn back to this Dragon.
There was no showstopper, Necrox. I think Izo forgot. Izo got in there. I love this positioning. I was waiting for that huge showstopper onto Clock, and then I checked his cooldown. So like, uh-oh, this is a problem.
That's awkward.
A little bit. They do give over a Dragon. And to be fair, does this change a lot for the side of Wildcard Developmental? A little bit. You do lose a bit of the gold lead. But other than that, right now, they're fine. They get to scale. And Flonk is very, very slow, actually, at taking these turrets on this Volibear. A little bit surprising considering what we saw from Izo's Volibear last game.
Yeah, he'll knock it down. Just takes him a little bit more claws. Bonk, clonk, bonk. Finally, knocks it over in the bot tier 1. And yeah, I mean, on the same item, Clonk did so much in that last fight to zone out multiple members, forcing cooldowns on him. And again, when you're forcing cooldowns onto someone like the Volibear, yes, he's not super tanky, but the poke is not nearly as effective when you're hitting Clonk, who not only has enough armor to sustain enough, he also has a little bit of friends waiting across the wings. As an easy pick there finds the way. Wildcard Developmental grab a Trivia Boy, and with a 5v4 on the map, maybe there's something to do here with this numbers advantage.
No, there isn't.
Okay. Just kidding.
I mean, they could look at Baron, but honestly, we're a little bit early on here, Necrox. Great pick, though. And it comes off the vision, once again, right? You can see Trivia Boy was just trying to clear a ward, and then you get caught. You die. That is unfortunate, and it's making things harder for Clonk Gong, who has been trying to carry this game 1v5 as hard as he can right now. I'm curious to see the next fight, if there is an answer to him. We do see Lethality, Varus coming out from Crazy Goose, so that's not a great answer to a tanky boy like this Volibear. Ivano with the Eclipse, though, will be able to chunk once, and that's about it. The Gnasher's Tooth coming out from Diana tells me that this Diana is looking for sustained damage. I just don't know if it's necessarily your right answer into trying to cut down a tank.
Yeah, it's not easy to do by any means, but regardless, Clonk is a big man on the front line that someone's going to have to deal with him, and it's not going to be a quick one at all, regardless of who it is. Your best bet is dunking him back into the team and finding someone like Pause 2 or Vark, clapping them back together. But regardless, should look for that one now that they have the ulti available and that cooldown's up. Thank you, observers, for toggling this vision. You can see just how many wards Rock Tribe have left behind, and Wildcard do not know much about what's going on in this river.
Okay. Necrox, I think we need to take a moment to talk about vision here, because we said that Rock Tribe's vision was kind of not great last game. Hold up. Crazy Goose.
No talking about vision, RMC. That is so illegal. Caster Curse, you finally did it, but come on, man. I tried to cut him off, and you still survive. Really? Oh, man. Crazy Goose somehow lives again at 1 HP. Pause 2 may not have the same fate. Just kidding. We all survive. We all survive. They all survive. Wild card. Man, you guys. There's something we got to talk about.
You know what your problem is, Necrox? You're expecting these kills from somebody not named Clonk Grong Zong or Wildcard grouped up. Right now, that's how most of the kills are happening. It just picks from Wildcard, or it's Clonk, doing Clonk Grong Clonk things over there. So, Vision. I want to talk about Vision quickly before they cut me off again, because Rock Tribe is getting Vision down. The problem is they're not defending it. We're seeing them set up Vision, walk away, and it's taking turns. Wildcard just walks in there, clears everything right back out, and then they maintain Vision. we are seeing Wildcard punish. If you go for Wildcard vision, they will look for a pick. And I want to see Rock Tribe set up the vision at better timings and actually defend it there. That huge black swath they had right there, that could have been kills. Wildcard did not see anything in the river, and if they had just sat in the river, they could have found something. Dragon coming on 45 seconds. Look at the timing. Wildcard's there, setting up the vision. Where's Rock Tribe? They're late to the party, and now they have to walk into Fog of War.
Yeah, and that Scuttle Crab is dying as well, so even the vision they did have, the small little bit, that one's gone in just a second or two. There you go, it disappears. And now you need to be careful because the poke game begins once again. Trivia already at half HP, and arrow after arrow, these are going to start hurting those shock blasts as well from Wildcard. When they get priority like this, this is where they can thrive. In 15 seconds on this objective, it would be sole point for Wildcard if they secure it. And again, another shock blast.
Look at that. Trivia Boy down to 50% already. POS 75. And anytime you step up for a reward, they're going to punish. Trivia 30% now. How are you going to engage on this Nautilus?
Yeah, I mean, he has no flash as well. They tried it in mid lane. They failed to engage. Another shock blast. That's Vark at 50. You have to make a move. Trivia's at 25. Klonk's even taken some damage. The man finally is mortal. He will bleed. And Rock Tribe Esports are muscled out of the objective by the sheer pressure their champions have drafted against. Wildcard, though, may be caught in transition. There's a beautiful hook to find Vark. The cleanse immediately expended. There's the knockup in the back line, but it's only going to find Cleave. There's a killer instinct in the back line. The flash forward's going to find the kill, but it's taken down. Vark is taken off the map. Now's a re-engage time for Wildcard of Elemental. Showstopper takes Klonk out of the squad. Trivia's been deleted. Klonk having to flash away as well. One more Moonfall will not find the mark here for Wildcard, but they take their fight and they win it 3 for 2.
One word, Necrox. Moonfall. Maniac solo saved that fight there. The fact that Goose got burst out that early, that was not ideal. Izo, unfortunately, also, Izo survived, but Izo kind of had to stop everybody from going in, and bonk, bonk, bonk. The moment bonk got into the back line, that was when you had problems. And you can see he survived. They threw everything in the kitchen sink, and all he needed was a Lulu to keep him up here. Sure, you've got Serpent's Fang now onto Ivano. Great. You've got Healing Cut coming through from Crazy Goose. Great. Is it enough? No, it really isn't. And the poke is not hurting. Yeah, we saw poke land on Klonk Grong Zong. It feels like watching Godzilla or King Kong, and like you're firing machine gun bullets at him. He doesn't feel it. Like, sure, you see the health bar maybe move, but like give him 5 seconds, the regeneration will happen right back up.
Yeah, certainly. And honestly, my eyes were a lot on Vark that fight because Kai'Sa is the carry that we were looking for in draft. But again, when you use Killer Instinct and Flash to take down the enemy AD carry, of course you're going to die in the next following half second. And Vark does exactly that. He uses everything to kill Goose. Yes, he finds his mark. Yes, he assassinates with the Plasma proc. But immediately taken down means, where's the rest of the damage? It's gotta come from Klonk, but he's a melee champion. Yes, he's huge. Yes, he's fed, but he's more tanky than anything else. And Rock Tribe need to keep their AD carry alive. Vark needs to keep himself on a leash, or they could lose these fights before they even get a chance to do some DPS.
Yeah, gotta get that fire discipline. And for Rock Tribe, that engage was great. I want to see more of those engages. They need to get more of those engages because we've seen what happens if you can't find a choke point, a funnel point to pinch Wildcard in. You just get kind of jerked around the lane and the poke comes down and you can't match it, right? So for Rock Tribe, the way you find these choke points, it is a mountain map. There are more walls than usual in the jungle. Get in their jungle and get all up in their business, all up in their face, and make sure you have Klonk with you when you do that. For Wildcard, look at this. They're scared to step in here. They know they don't have control in these choke points.
Yeah, and teleport's available for Klonk as well, so while he might not be with there physically, he's there mentally and in spirit, so no issue. Arrow over the wall there. Should have tagged a member, so maybe they know the audio cue should give that one away. Actually, yeah, it does tag Trivia, I believe, on the back end. So Wildcard knows something is up with this brush. One more arrow, but they're looking for the engage of the same. Attempt number 2, and I've seen this movie before. It's Trivia with a huge engage and a massive slam down WWE style from RTE. Now they have to disengage though as they find their kill, but burn the cooldowns. They lose their support, grab the enemy AD carry. Shock Blast is a little bit of the back end, but what a move from Trivia and Klonk. showing their prowess in these fights.
They're going back in? Oh, okay. For a second, I thought they were going back in. Shirley's popped their speed up as well. And at the end of the day, normally trading an AD carry for support, that's great. That's a trade you want to normally that's a trade you want to take. But in this particular case, it means nothing. Rock Tribe can't push in and do anything even with this AD carries down. Avano is doing a great job as a replacement AD carry, and you need to kill both of them or else it doesn't really matter. They can stall up to the other one's backup.
Okay, one critical item I want to point out here is Avano. He has picked up Serpent's Fang for this following fight, plus even an extra Caulfield. So those Lulu shields, yeah, they will shield, but the poison now with rework, Trivia. Going in once again, there's the hook, the lantern's here, but it's been warded. They've dropped 20 wards in the damn thing. And of course it's Glonk to pick up the kill. Avano, just as I was praising you, man, the caster curse comes time for the 20th time this game. RTE are gonna start up this Baron.
Oh, this is risky. Iso actually does have TP available, but doesn't have anything TP too. Wildcard, they're just backing out. They do not want a piece of this without Avano. Scratch what I said. It's not about the double 80 carry. Goose is optional. Avano is not.
Dragon is now the thought here for Rock Tribe as they understand, yes, they did enough damage. They're going to leave Ray to finish this one off. Does he save his Smite, though, to try to secure this Dragon? Now it's time for the team fight. Smite's been used by RTE's jungle. Dragon is secured by a wild card, and there is no follow-through. It is traded for Mountain Soul RMC. Baron for Soul. RTE have made the call.
Okay, and they're gonna now push in with this Baroned up minion wave here, and you can trade Soul for Baron. I think that's not a bad call from Wildcard, but you have to survive the Baron. If they survive this, you're in a good position. If you lose an inhibitor against Rock Tribe here, then they get to push in, they get to punish, and we don't see the safety come out. Ping's coming for the bot side here. There is a pretty fat wave down there, but I'm not sure what the ping was about. You can't get in there, and they're trying to counter push mid instead.
Yeah, so it's wild card, even without the Baron, making some map pressure work for themselves, at least until Rock Tribe get back on the map. But what an interesting macro decision there from Rock Tribe, understanding that they may not lose the long con here. They're looking for one final punch, one final blow to end this game out before we go too late. You talked about scaling earlier with the Varus, with the Jace. Yes, they're building lethality, but you have to think about what they can do in these late game team fights. We've already seen the damage that Avano and Goose can do with their poke, and that's only going to get worse onto the critical members like Vark and like Pause 2. But now it's Rock Tribe's turn to push down mid lane and look to open the base.
Look bot. Oh my goodness. Pause 2. He doesn't know. Is Iso not going to punish this?
He's gonna, yeah, the team's calling for him back. They want him in the base to defend.
They might lose this turret for it because, yeah, exactly. That's the problem. If you don't punish Pause 2 right there, look at how stacked that wave is. And because the mid lane inner turret's down already, Rock Tribe literally just need to walk down here, and it's a free turret. I have questions about allowing this play to happen. This fat wave is now going to push into your inhibitor as well.
Yeah, now inhibitor turret under fire. Here for wild card as Rock Tribe look to put on the siege once again. They do not have too much to knock this one down, though. It's really only Vark able to hit this turret. Trivia. Lots of damage, man. This poke is legit. Shirelli is going to be popped to follow through. Can they find the engage? Flashes are available. Avano is here as well. Shock Blast going to find Roy. Ooh, here comes the X Flash. Trivia, thinking about it. Where's the hook? Where's the dredge line? There's the engage. Ray's going in. Showstopper is going to be massive. Haymaker finds a few, but a massive ultimate from Clonk. Going to even have the team fight for now. Vark has to survive. Can he do it? Flame back in. Going golden, but only for a moment before wild card clean house. They only leave one alive, but they're not leaving him alive for much longer. The lantern for the assist, and Ray cannot run. He can only fight, but it's not a win and one. Ace for wild card down.
Why, Necrox? Why? I just don't understand that Tom and Jerry moment where you have wild card chasing you. Rock Tribe got out. What was the call there to turn back into it? Trivia Boy is basically almost dead. The moment the fight started, he got popped. What did you think the outcome was going to be? Turning 20% health, and Baron completely wiped. The death timers are fairly short, so they will lose an inhib, and that's about it here. But just, this is it feels like a bit like game one, and the way it just suddenly turned and Wildcard, they are back in the driver's seat. They've got the soul. They don't care. They survived your Baron.
Yeah, it's really rough stuff from Trivia. Ooh, TP flank from Clonk. This is a game-winning fight. If they can find it on the right footing. Do they get it though? Now he's spotted out. Clonk is here. Tries to get a little bit of extra damage in, but he's too early to the play. And that is teleport expended here for Rock Tribe top laner. Clonk, I'm going to call that one a mistake. Now you don't have an easy push out in a side wave. Pause2 is not going to push out a wave, man. That guy cannot do it on a Lulu. And now topside could be exposed for the next few minutes while Elder spawns in just 2.
Yeah, Pause2, even if you can jump a wave, even if you have the ability to clear it, you don't have the safety to do it. No flash on this Lulu, and we've seen what Iso will do to a Kool-Aid dispenser if it's left alone in lane. So, Pause right now, you don't get to side lane. Ivano would just rip right through this Lulu, and Clonk, Gronk, Zonk, that TP being down also means you don't, not only do you not have that split push pressure, but it's also a tool that's taken out for that next major objective. It won't be up for Dragon. It won't be up for Baron. And those spawn at the same time here. And for Wildcard Developmental, you can now threaten, hey, we can do either one. And if for the side of Rock Tribe, they go for one, you can say, we'll trade this. We are happy to take that. You can see that Rock Tribe is struggling to engage. So even if you have Elder Drake, if you can't actually fight them or get them to fight you, it doesn't matter that you have the ability to execute them by getting them low.
Yeah, certainly. Absolutely. RMC and Rock Tribe now really have to make an important call. 36, almost 37 minutes in here in a few seconds. They need to decide what is the call, and you cannot dilly-dally around mid. We've seen this before, and it ends with Jay shock blasting you away from the objective. You can't walk in. You have to engage, and you have to win fights early. We talked about it. Trivia thinking about making it happen, but yeah, they just can't get in, and now it's Wildcard to own the river yet again.
And Iso's just punishing that turret. Pause2 hesitated. The TP coming in mid now, that's an inner turret gone.
Yeah, inner turret already gone. Super's pushing bot lane, and now Rock Tribe really need to start thinking about this game, because if they're not careful, it's a double teleport TP angle into the base, and this one can end in the blink of an eye. This Elder is not the call, but Rock Tribe have no other option, and they're going to start this one up.
They might look to end.
Teleport.
We're seeing the TP from Ivano. They've got supers.
They've got supers in the base. Elder's gonna go down here in just a second. Trivia needs to be careful. Elder secured, but it's meanwhile in the base. Ivano's looking to end the damn game. Double TP in, and the game is over. It is Elder for Nexus trade to end it out, and Rock Tribe were caught sleeping at the wheel, and Wildcard drive this series home.
What? I'm lost for words here, Necrox. Rock Tribe put themselves in such an awkward position. They literally boxed themselves in. The moment the call was made for Pause2 to TP, they had two decisions. Back off and lose Elder, or go in and force a fight. They hesitated, and they chose the third option, which was just lose the game. You could see they took so long to take the Elder. They didn't have the damage, and Trivia Boy went down to the poke on the back end of things. Even if you get Elder, there's no way you make it back to base in time. Everybody, 3 people is enough to stop your backs. Elder does not give you an empowered recall. You don't get back in 4 seconds. Just really rough way to see Rock Tribe end it after they had such a great early game in both their games.
RMC, I propose a trade deal.
Okay.
You get Elder, and you lose the series, and we get your Nexus. I mean, come on! It was so obvious. We called it from like 30 seconds, minute before it. You gotta feel bad though for Rock Tribe. What is the right call there? Give I mean, that is just such a rough spot. I feel bad, but like, that wasn't it. That surely ain't it. But I don't think they had anything to deal with it anyway. I mean, to give the pun up early, their hand was empty. Wildcard just took all the cards and ran with the game. It was rough.
They didn't even get Elder. They didn't even get Elder. The Rock trade deal didn't even go through. That said, you know what? For Rock Tribe, their early game still looks strong. And sure, they got, unfortunately, 2-0 by Wildcard. But depending on how the games go for Striking Vipers Maestro, they still have a chance to make it to playoffs. They are neck to neck. I don't know what the Striking Viper score is right now, but there is a chance, and they're going to grasp that. They're going to go on with it. And you know what? props to their play. Again, solid early play. The draft was great from Coach Starling. I think nobody can take that away from Coach Starling here. And the biggest win of all, Ray gets to go on a hot date.
Absolutely. Big win. Massive stuff. That's more important League of Legends. Honestly, Armsy, I had a freaking blast with you, my friend. It was good to be here. But we got an Analyst Says to break it down and close us out. Armsy and I will see you soon. But for now, Analyst Says, take it away, my friends, and break the UPL down.
Thank you, Decrox and RMC for the absolutely fantastic cast. Welcome back to us, everybody. Yo, we said it before, we'll say it again. Wild card a touch above the rest, but today it definitely looked human. I can't exactly point out what it was. I can't exactly see the kinks in the armor, but maybe my big brain analyst Hollywood can help us break it down.
Man, Rocktrap was so close this game. It just felt so hard to watch, and I just was kind of sad at just how the whole mid game played out. I think, obviously, they ran Lulu Seraphine both games, so you're running a very wave clear supportive enchanter mid laner, and that always runs the risk of being outsplit in the mid game. And they went through a progression of the mid game once towers were down. We saw Lulu actually stuck in top for so long, and credit to Wildcard, of course, they kind of forced that option out of Rocktribe. But it just felt so tough to watch because they had to find that window in which Lulu could group, and you could force a fight. Because obviously your team fight is to be really strong with Lulu shields, Lulu slows, and Lulu speed ups. But they just got poked out, and Varus and Jace, it just kind of, I saw a shock blast and it just hit PSO2 for like 3/4 of her HP, and it was just a tough game. But yeah, I mean, credit to Wildcard, they played really well. They exploited the enemy there, and at the end we saw the exploit actually winning the game. You know, we saw Izo the top lane splitting, and they had to make a choice. You know, does PSO2 defend or does she TP and Goop? And then obviously chose the latter, and then that kind of ended the game. But
it's just really hard at like in those moments, right? When you have so much pressure being built in the side lanes, you also have the super minions being pushed on bot lane. Like you're caught between a rock and the hard place. You know what you need to do, but when you do commit to that, you've got to fully commit, right? And they did pull the TP, but then they weren't able to find anything off the back of it, and that just led to bleeding out the base slowly. As the caster said, they got the Elder Dragon, but it didn't really matter because there was no response to come out in the base for the defense, and it's been unfortunate for that to be the end of it, where we were hoping, you know, for the Rocktribe to be able to take down the top team in the Cloud Division, but unfortunately here they're just going to continue to assert their dominance.
Yes, with that now, Wildcard are 5-0 in the group, so they've locked themselves as the top seed in playoffs essentially, and with the Rocktribe falling 2 and 3. We're waiting on results from tonight's matches to see whether or not Striking Viper Maestros they fall to the same fate, or will they take second place in the group. Ladies and gentlemen, playoffs are getting closer and closer with every going week. So, my favorite analyst, I do want to pass it off to you one more time. We just get your overall closing thoughts in the game. Let us stick with you.
Yeah, Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Marcel.
You're good. I just think that it's overall, like, there were things that you can pull away from for the Rocktribe from this. Like, I think there a lot to look at in the decision-making processes, the communication in those pressure moments, right, and being decisive. I think that's something that can grow quickly in a team, and I would like to see that from Rocktribe. On the other side of it, Wildcard, some stumbles here or there, but overall you can see that kind of fluidity between the team, the synergies between the team really starting to unfold as we get further on.
Now, Hollywood, please do grace us with that large mind and height of yours and help us to understand what you thought went on in this game and what both these teams could really take going forward.
Yeah, kind of going off to what Mazel was saying, this team, it did not look like a 4-0 team versus a 2-2 team. You know, Rocktribe actually looked very, very strong. And going to the more analytical part of it, I wish that they would play to their strengths a little bit more. You know, we saw Volibear. If I'm Clonk and I'm 5-0 out of lane, and I can't, like, yes, it's on him to carry, yes, but his team needs to give him the tools to carry. So if I'm 5-0, you know, my team's not winning, clearly my team is trolling somehow. And I guess coming from a support player, this is up to Trivia and the jungler to kind of work in tandem with each other and play on the same strong side. That's the one takeaway I think they should have is play on that strong side. You know, yes, Volibear's a tank, but he can dive towers really, really well. He can create that pressure, and I think Izo was maybe 0-3 or 0-4 coming out of lane. So yeah. Clonk played extremely well. So just stick to your strengths and stick to your confidence, yeah.
Yeah, it's establishing those win conditions in game and then playing towards those, right? Not getting caught up in the game plan that is being brought forward from the other side.
Huge part of that, in fact. But as we move on forward, hopefully we'll see Rockstrike bounce back from this and perhaps even meet us in the top 2 as we head towards those precious quarterfinals. But until then, gentlemen, I do want to thank you, of course, for joining me here today. It was a wonderful time having you all, and always lovely to see your faces as always. And of course, big shout out to our cast, Necrox and RMC, and our production for today, of course, as well, and GG Scotty, and the smallest shout out to Emily for being cool, I guess.
I guess.
Just a little bit.
Emily, you're awesome. There.
Stop it. But I have been your host, as always, Ravish Grabs, the most Ravish about the internet. We appreciate y'all watching. We'll catch you next week. Till then, good night.